Okay.
Hey everyone, GameHounds podcast. We are live. Sorry, we are later than even usual because Nick was at a kid's birthday party.
Yes.
Uh,
I
uh,
went to the birthday party of a friend's kid to, support the friend.
yeah. How
Yeah.
old was the kid?
6,
Mm.
7, 5, single
You don't
single
even
digits.
know
Single digits. Single digits.
what was the number on the cake, Nick?
I don't know, but it was a Sonic the Hedgehog cake.
All right. Kid
I don't
gets
I don't
some credit
remember.
for the cool cake.
We went there to catch up with our friends. I don't know. I don't think did you meet Natalie and Shirog at my wedding? I think
Maybe.
you were there on different days.
Probably. Chances are I was there on a different day. And I'm sorry I'm doing coffee. Because Nick was delayed, I made coffee on time early because I'm like, "Ah, I don't want to do a coffee break in the middle of the show." And so then I made coffee early and then Nick's like, I'm going to be 20 minutes late. So I drank all the coffee. So I probably shouldn't have another cup of coffee because it makes me jittery, but you know what? Life's too short. Um, So, we may have Andrew. He was working late last night, uh,
Okay.
so he didn't get back into home until the wee hours of the morning. So, it may be that this is a case of it's just us this today.
He's still sleeping.
Well, he's not sleeping, but he did say he was appreciating the extra half hour that he had for, you know, sleeping in, or at least, dragging around the apartment in a daze. So, we have so much to talk about. Holy crap. The one week when I had so many other stories online ready to go, and then was it yesterday or was it day before yesterday? Shit went down at Microsoft.
Well, shit went down
That
at everybody. It went down at Sony. Then it went down at Microsoft.
yeah,
Okay, Sony's like, hey, guess what? We're going to do something that's going to piss a lot of people off. And then Xbox is like, hold my beer.
hold my beer. Yeah, pretty much, because none of the announcements are, in my opinion, good for gaming at all. But I will say, as a preview, I was right, partially right. I get full credit for the thing that actually happened being completely out of left field. But it's clear that my instincts about what was going to happen to Phil
No.
Spencer was absolutely right.
Yes.
And what was going to happen to Xbox was absolutely right. It just didn't go down that way. So
So,
we'll talk about it.
yeah, we'll talk about that. In the chat, AC Wraith said that in Discord, Andrew was ranting over a news item. That was probably related to High Guard. We had talked about that last week, about just poor expectations for live service games.
Because live service games suck.
Although,
Although,
again, the news item that I have notes on, Pilion State of Gaming for 2026, you read that and you go, I get it. Yeah, going the live service route, it's like, yeah, that makes sense.
all right.
Turns out,
So we'll talk about it. We'll
yes,
talk about it.
that.
We do have a couple of
Oh,
reviews,
he says
but
no,
they're
it's
going to
over
be
Blue
very
Point.
short. Very, very short.
Yeah, we'll talk about Blue Point too. I also have things to say about Blue Point. There's a lot.
Okay.
I have a lot to say.
All right. So I'll probably won't be talking much today.
No. This is my show. In fact, you know what? This is my show now. My show. And I'm going to start.
You're a dick. Wait, no, we're going to start with the start, sir. We're going to start with the start.
Okay.
So let's start the show.
This podcast discusses video games, pop culture, and technology, and these podcasters have big, fat potty mouths. If you're younger than 18 or are easily offended, please stop this podcast now. Oh, and your mom said to take out the trash and do your homework.
Hello and welcome to GameHounds. GameHounds episode 810. We are recording this on Sunday, February 22nd, 2026. I'm Edie Sellers. With me is Nick DiNicola for the moment. And all right, so let's get into because we have so little time, and I have to be I have a business call after the show, so we are on a timeline. Reviews, game reviews, very quickly. I played Mewgenics. That is the game that has been hitting all of the everything, everywhere. Everybody loves it. And I've got a little bit up, and there is Andrew. Andrew just arrived. Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning.
Yep, he's still asleep. He's dead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
had
had a
late
rough night. That sound.
I just worked late and then ended up not going to bed right when I got home. So,
Let me guess, you were playing something.
no, I was just trying to unwind from. I worked at 12 yesterday, so I was at work till 3 a.m. It's not a big deal, but yeah, 3 hours to unwind and then go to bed.
Well, we're going to talk about my quick foray into Mewgenics, the game that has hit like crazy.
Yeah, you're a cat
cat breeder.
Yeah, cat breeder. A
Cat
cruel
breeder,
cat breeder.
cat fighter.
I hear you're chucking cats down the garbage disposal.
Yeah. I didn't ever get to chucking them down the garbage disposal. I was sending them to other people.
Okay.
It is so this is a turn-based fighting game, but what you do is you're fighting with cats. And the whole point is to fight your cats, and then at the end of a series of battles, it's like a little map, as typical, like Slay the Spire and everything else. You start with a little map, you go down the map, and you get finally hit the boss, you beat the boss.
Like
Right.
Okay.
You go to the end, and then you go back to your house. And in your house, you put your cats inside the house, and then feed them. And then overnight, they could breed and make a kitten that has the same skills, or like a mashup of skills or abilities of the previous cats. They could fight and either wound or kill each other, or they could do nothing. So you never really quite know what's going to happen in the evening, and could spend a couple of days at the house. You can only send a cat once through one of the series of fights that you've got. So once they're done, they're retired. You can't send them out again. So the only thing you can do is breed them for the next round.
Just keep them around like a horse to just keep fucking.
Or to steal Yahtzee from a Second Wind's joke. You just hand them off to some creepy stranger who wants a bunch of cats and keeps needing more cats. You don't question what they want the cats for. It's weird they want 30 cats.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what you do. And it's tongue in cheek. It's very funny. The gameplay is fun. I'm trying to put it on the stage here so that you can actually see what it looks like. This is the beginning. I will move forward so you can actually see the fighting. But you fight other animals, you fight other cats. You're given a limited amount of movement in order to move around the battle space. Some of them have ranged, and when you start the match, you choose whether there's going to be a tank, there's going to be a damage dealer, there's going to be a healer, and there's going to be a ranged. So you pick which cat you want to be in that group of 4, and it's your cats. You can't get if your cat goes down, your cat doesn't die unless it gets hit again. So when a cat
Okay.
goes down, you've got to protect that cat. Or let me see if I can get a group of
So it's
4
D&D
here.
rules.
Yeah.
D&D rules,
Down but not
very
out.
much.
Oh, and Killa in the chat says Mewgenics is my addiction. I've played 50 hours and only 14% through the game.
That's a perfect
Yeah.
way
I've-
segue for me to mention
I've
that
heard
I
that
saw.
it's long.
Yeah.
hmm
Internal reports was it took 300 hours for the creator to finish, and it
Ooh.
took one person internally 500 hours to get 100%.
Wow.
Like, so if you're worried about content, it's like $30, $27 on sale.
So
and you
Yeah.
get 9 hours.
I've also heard that it kind of opens up mechanically slowly. So I know that at some point, because what other reviews have said is you can lock 2 cats in a room to get them to fuck, so that you are kind of purposely breeding cats with the traits that you want. Are you at that point yet, or are you just?
I'm not at that point yet. No.
They're just, hey, I don't know who's gonna fuck who. I don't know who's gonna kill who. The cats I get are just a hodgepodge of randomness.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find a in the house cats fucking thing.
That's not a great sentence.
Yeah.
I don't like that sentence.
I'm just trying to find a video of cats fucking.
Yeah.
There we go.
Just-
All right. So
Where's the
there's
video of the house.
the video of the house. Oh, and you will also have strays that come up to your house, so you can introduce new cats. Because of course, if you start with 2 cats, you can't really get 4 cats if 2 of them have been retired because they've already been through the fighting first. So it's an addiction is a good way to put it. This is easily a very addictive game, and I couldn't be happier, especially considering that this is
Hey, Edie.
Okay,
Heads up.
You're going a little robot.
Oh,
what?
Oh, she's caught in a time dilation. She's going so slow.
Developers are
Edie-
2 guys.
Okay,
2 guys I want to
okay.
say in Santa Cruz. Go
Can you-
more than 1 million copies on Steam. Alina
got-
Analytics wrote what are you?
Wait,
I'm
Edie,
not on
can
that
you hear
screen.
us? Can you hear
Did you
us?
have a cat fucking scene?
No,
Edie, are you awake?
I can't. Oh
Are you-
no! Really?
No, Edie, can you hear us? No,
I can.
Oh, she can hear
Yes.
us. You are on like a 10-second delay.
Interesting. Okay.
5 seconds. 5-second delay.
Getting better, I guess.
Okay,
That
test.
delay was perfect.
Hey, give me a thumbs up.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
Ooh,
3 seconds.
Okay.
she's catching back up.
It's getting better.
Yes, it is getting
Uh,
better.
Mewgenics
Okay, all
was
right.
made
Seems like
by
I'm caught
the-
up now.
I wonder if it was just like trying to do the video and streaming at once that kind of killed things.
Maybe.
You're still lagging a bit, and it falls out occasionally. So your
okay.
connection may be spotty.
All right.
Mewgenics
well,
was made by the people who made Binding of Isaac, the same guy.
Right. But not for a studio. This is in a couple of, they're just 2 guys that worked on they did Binding of Isaacs, but it's not the same company that made Binding of Isaacs, correct?
It's the same creator.
Okay. Bottom line, great game. It's made so much money, and to see an independent developer like this do as well as this, it's like I said, sold more than 1 million copies as of a couple of days ago. Generated close to $25 million in gross revenue. It is the 2nd highest revenue of any 2026 release on Steam so far, only below Neo, which has made 70, which retails for $70, so twice the price.
No, it's really good, and the fact that he spent 8 years working on this,
mhm.
and to see it be such a success is great to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Vice Ravana's in the chat.
Hey,
Hey.
hey, Vice, and yes, it's not the name of the chat. Oh, Big Trouble in Little Xbox. Oh, maybe that one.
Yep. And 70% of the Mewgenics players own Binding of Isaac. Rebirth.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
So there's brand loyalty there. But the fact that it is case in point, it's not live service. It's not a AAA, quadruple A title, and it's making tons of money, and everyone is talking about it, and rightfully so. It's a great game. The only thing that's kept me from playing more of it is that it's PC, so I haven't played it on the Steam Deck, so I don't know how it works on the Steam Deck yet.
I was
But
about to
because
say
it's on
that's
the
a
PC,
perfect game for the Steam Deck.
it is a perfect game for the Steam Deck, assuming it's Steam Deck optimized, which is a chance. I saw the tail come across the screen. Assuming that it is optimized for the Steam Deck, it's a perfect game for this. So that's Mewgenics. The other thing, and a very quick, because it's a very old game, but it is on mobile, and I played a ton of it because it is on mobile. Slay the Spire on mobile. I'd never played Slay the Spire before, but I played it. I did sign up for Apple
Arcade.
Oh, speaking of Slay the Spire, the
Okay.
early access for 2 is coming out next month.
Yes, I saw that. And the fact that there was early access for 2 coming up, and I'm like, I really should play Slay the Spire. Chris started playing, and he's like, this is a great game.
Yeah, I think it's your type of game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Quick Googling on the Steam Deck subreddit for Mewgenics. It runs fine, but the controls are a little rough. They're serviceable, one person puts it, but they can feel a little off.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
I could see that. So yeah, Slay the Spire on mobile is fantastic, works great. I think if I was going to complain about it on mobile for one thing, is that on Slay the Spire, you've got all the cards at the bottom of your screen. And you pick one up to look at it to decide if you're going to play it. And sometimes when you try to put it back down, it doesn't go down. And I have had really good runs where my guy has committed suicide.
No.
Because when I tried to put it back down, it didn't go back down. It played the card. It's very, very frustrating that way. And that's both on iPad and iPhone. I played it on both. Yeah, that mechanic does not do well. In fact, I wish that there was on mobile a button that says, cancel, so that I could actually go to the cancel button instead of having to go like, go away, and trying to do it in such a way that you don't mistakenly play it. So that was really frustrating. The best run I've had, I had a character who was unfucking stoppable and ended up committing suicide because of a misplaced card. And of course it's roguelike. So of course, once you commit suicide, that's it.
Yeah.
It's over.
Just like life.
Sucks.
No, that's bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I wanted to get into Slay the Spire. I fell off of it, but I need to go back to that game.
Yeah, it's a great game, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they might be doing with Slay the Spire 2. I would hope that it's not more of the same. I'm hoping that they make some kind of changes to the mechanics to actually make it a true 2 instead of just more of the same. But it's a good game, and if you have Apple Arcade, it is free. Because I really didn't want to spend. It was $10 to buy it. Yeah.
You got to pay for the arcade.
Yeah, you got to pay for the arcade, but it's cheaper. Even if you just get it for 1 month and then cancel, it's actually cheaper to get a month of arcade than it is to actually buy Slay the Spire mobile.
Sure, but if you're willing to buy Slay the Spire, I think it's worth just picking up.
There's a lot of good stuff on Apple Arcade. I'm trying
a
to
lot of good
remember
stuff on Apple Arcade.
There was one thing in particular, but I can find that later.
But yeah, it's a good noodler time waster. All of a sudden you look down and you've been playing it for an hour and it's like, oh shit.
Oh yeah, you got to be careful. That's something like picking up Balatro on your phone, where it's gonna suck the life right at you.
It sucked the battery right out of your phone is what it does. All of a sudden you look up and you're like, I have 20% left on my phone. Fuck, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. So
they have Civ 7 on Apple Arcade.
How much?
Civ 7.
Oh, I thought you said 6, 7. I was like 6, 7,
6, 7.
7. Fuck.
GameHounds coming in with the 6-7 like a month after it died.
Oh no,
Oh,
it's
absolutely, absolutely. Now you're on our timeline.
I have a 14-year-old girl in the house. It's not dead. I cannot say 6 or 7 in the house still.
Well, okay, I said Civ 7, as in
Okay.
Civilization 7.
Okay, good. Good.
Yes.
So that's my 2 reviews. So, so now that we've done that, let's unless you guys want to do a super quick review of something.
Yeah, I am continuing on my my what was it called? New Year's resolution.
New
Play
Year's
a new
resolution, right.
game.
Mhm.
I played a little game called Home Safety Hotline. And it's
Oh,
set in the
yes.
90s, and it sort of has this whole old school 90s computer interface to it.
Mhm.
But it's kind of a simple puzzle game at its core. You play as like this person on a helpline, the home
Mhm.
safety hotline. And people call you and say, "Hey, I have this issue. What is it?" And you have a series of entries that you have to go read through and choose the correct one. Except that the entries begin as, "Oh, it's a spider. Oh, that sounds like you've got gophers. That sounds like cockroaches." And as you progress through the week, you unlock more that are, "Oh, that's a mirror nymph that will steal your identity. Oh, that's a tea sprite. They love hanging out in teacups. Oh, this is a toilet hob.
Your
They live in
deflection not
toilets."
changing at all between, oh, it's a spider. It's a groundhog.
Oh yeah,
Oh, it's a
well,
mirror
as you
nymph.
go through, you're
It'll
like,
steal your identity.
"Oh, it's black mold. That's really bad. You should take care of that. Oh, it's a fracture hob. These are little creatures that will live in the cracks of your house. Oh, a desk hob. They are pretty safe. You don't have to worry too much about desk hob. They love to clean, but if you acknowledge them, then they will turn into a boggart and probably kill you. So it's best that you just accept the fact that you have a little creature living in your desk who will clean for you, and don't acknowledge him if you see him." And as you go further and further, you unlock more entries, and so the people calling kind of start giving you more vague answers. And so it's really just a puzzle game of reading through these entries, and when someone calls you for help, sort of putting the pieces together of, okay, what thing are they talking about? And the writing is really good. There's a really understated creepiness to the whole thing, because this is all the game. There are no jump scares or anything like that. But you'll read about a false artifact. It's like, oh, what is a false artifact? It's just an object that is not really an object. It attracts small pets and children, and if they touch it, they will get consumed by the artifact, and they will now live inside the artifact, where it will slowly digest them over a period of decades. Um, once they've been taken by a false artifact, there's nothing you can do to take them out, and so it's best if you use a memory wisp to speed up the grieving process. And it's like, oh, Jesus. And so then when you get a call of someone going like, "Oh my God, my daughter's missing. She was here. She kept talking about something in her closet. My daughter's missing." You're like, um, shit, lady. I don't know how to tell you, but yeah, your daughter's gone.
Yeah,
She's gone.
like on the screen right now, the person who called is like, my wife. I can't. Her face, it's gone. What do you do with that?
Yeah,
Just
and you're like, "Okay, I'm gonna put you on hold." And then I'm
yes.
gonna scroll through and see, oh, that's probably a memory wisp. You're affected by a memory wisp, and you're forgetting people. Don't worry, memory wisps can be reversed. But it's just that dry commentary on like really dark supernatural things is very subtly creepy. But just the loop of getting the call and then scrolling through the options and being like, well, what kind of hob is it? They talk about like fractures in the floor. They talk about bad smells. It's like, oh, is that a cellar grotto or is that a stair slug? And so you kind of just, logical deduction.
It's text-based phasmophobia.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
way to put it.
And I
So
hear
yeah,
go ahead.
it's not particularly long. I beat it in an afternoon. I played it on PlayStation with a controller, and the controls actually work really well, even though it's got like a mouse interface. Yeah, just a really fun, kind of spooky way to spend an afternoon.
And I heard the writing's just kind of fantastic for the game too.
Yes, yeah, it's very good.
So is it? I'm assuming it's PC.
It's also on PC. I played it on console. It's on console PC. You can play it practically anywhere.
And I think
Sounds
it's
like fun.
relatively cheap, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think I picked it up on PlayStation on sale for like $3. I
Oh,
think normally
wow.
it's 10, maybe 10 to 15. But yeah, cool little game.
All right. Andrew, do you have any game you want to talk about?
I've just been trying to get through. I'm mostly still in the start of it, but Death Stranding. I started finally
Mm.
playing that because Death Stranding 2 is going to be coming to PC, and I kind of want to play that one also. It's always weird when I come in with a 4-year-old AAA game that everyone's played. So,
Yeah.
if you're going to pick up Death Stranding, it's really important to play the game almost the way it wants you to play. Like, invest in the world. Think
Just
about, like, plan your path, stuff like that. Because if you try to fight the game, I think that is a game where it's just going to do more harm than good. It is not a game about playing the way you want, I say with quotations, but actually like engaging with the systems that it gives you.
yeah, so much of it is a walking simulator. Like it's literally simulates the act of walking in a really impressive way. And I remember said this about 2, but it applies to 1 as well. It's just kind of a vibes game. Like you just sit back and you walk through this kind of overcast, beautiful world. And you just listen to some music on Sam's Walkman and just kind of chill out.
And they do have solid music.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No, I mean, there's not much to say that hasn't been said about this game. I'm enjoying it so far, like I said, because I am engaging where it wants you to engage instead of like trying to Skyrim up a mountain. You pick your paths, you go like along those paths. It's really hard for me to leave a lot of there's a lot of packages along the way that you just kind of sometimes have to leave, and that kills me, man. That kills me so much because the places that you can pick them up and drop them off anywhere, but you get like half points. If you deliver them to where they're supposed to go, you get full points. In this case, likes, because you get oxytocin when you get likes. And there'll be times I'm moving forward in the game and it's like, oh, here's like 3 packages that want me to return to the city behind me that I just left and go drop it off. And it's like, no, stop it.
Yeah, no, put that package down. Put the package down. Have you unlocked the trucks yet?
I have a bike. That's as far as I've gotten.
Oh man, if you keep playing, the moment you get the zip lines, the zip lines, you create the best memory I have of that game is like spending hours climbing through the snow and just like fighting the ghost through the snow and then setting up one zip line on this mountain peak, one zip line on the other mountain peak, and just fuck all you in the middle and just and just being able to go all that walking. It's like you fight your way and you fight for every step of progress, but then you build the infrastructure behind you that makes going back really easy.
And Killa says in chat, I couldn't get through an
Lambo.
hour of Death Stranding. Yeah, I was so bored. Valid. It will bounce off of people. But I think it's a game that if you try to play it wrong, you will bounce off of it. Like that's
so
it is a game that can be played wrong.
Andrew's saying it's your fault, Lambo.
I think an hour into it is short enough that you're still in like the first cutscene arc, and in which case
it throws you into the walking really quickly. And like if you I think an hour is fine because if you don't like walking around in the first hour, guess what? That's what you're doing for the rest of the game.
The only thing I can say is Kojima's naming for people kills me in this game. I can't. Like,
Oh,
there's a windmill
don't
and
like
there's a guy. Go ahead.
you don't like Heartman or
Heart,
Deadman
yeah.
or what are the other guys?
The first place you get to is called his name's like Jason Baton, and that's because he is a way station. He runs a way station, so you pass the baton to him.
Mhm.
Or like Jake Wind, and he runs a windmill. Like, I can't.
It's so literal.
Yes. Okay, I have to step away though. That's all. Like Death Stranding, if you haven't played it, it's been out for 4 years. 2's out on PlayStation. It's coming out on PC in March. Gorgeous game. Easily the best looking game I've probably ever seen. And if you're into that, just know that it is fantastic. All right, I'll be back though.
Okay. So, that being said, now that we've done all that, can we go to news? Because we have news to talk
We
about.
do.
All right, let's hit the news. This is the GameHounds news, the news, views, and commentary of the week in gaming with Gamer Edie, Andrew Smith, and Nick Nicola. And our first item is the big news.
Yeah, okay, let's do the big news.
Yeah.
Let's do the big news, and then I will explain why all the big news happened.
Yeah.
So Xbox is gone.
It's dead. Yeah, it's officially dead. It's but in fact, it was on Kotaku. They claimed it. They like February 28th, which is when I guess Asha Sharma takes over from Phil Spencer at Xbox. That's the official death of Xbox. So
No,
if
we call her AI shill.
AI shill.
Yes.
Okay, so if you somehow missed it on day before yesterday, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, whenever it was, just a couple days ago, it was announced that Phil Spencer was stepping down and quote unquote retiring from Xbox as CEO.
Stepping down.
From Xbox Gaming, and was being replaced by someone named Asha Sharma. Now, remember, AC Wraith, what was my prediction, and when did I make this prediction about Phil Spencer was going to lose his job and Sarah Bond was going to be the new head of Xbox Gaming? Well, I was partially right. Everybody expected Sarah Bond to be the next head of Xbox Gaming. It's suspected so was Sarah Bond because AI shill, actually it's called Asha Sharma, who
AI
was in the AI division, worked for Meta in their AI division, was at Xbox in their AI division, has now been named the CEO of Xbox with the Matt Booty as head of gaming content. And Sarah Bond not promoted to anything. Sarah Bond has since left the company.
She's left. And it's important to look at the exact timeline because Phil announced his retirement on Friday and said, I'm leaving Monday. Sarah Bond gone on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Phil Spencer sent out a very nice email saying goodbye. Oh, I've had such a good memories of Microsoft. Matt Booty had a whole, no, not Matt Booty. Sad Nutella had a whole email about, oh, I loved working with Phil. I respect him so much. And the AI shill had a big old email about, I'm so happy to come and take over Xbox. Sarah Bond didn't have any email. No,
she eventually did release a statement, but
no corporal approved goodbye.
Mm-mm.
So this is basically Sad Nutella coming in and kicking out Phil and Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
And I suspect, given that he installed someone who used to work at Core AI, a group within Microsoft whose goal was implement AI across Microsoft, that the AI pilled Sad Nutella wants more AI in Xbox. Phil and Sarah were like, no, that's not, don't do this. don't do this, man. And he's like, well, fine, fuck you.
Yeah, you're out. So yeah, that happened. And episode 796, with the prediction, Maynard says Spencer will leave within the next 2 years. E says within 18 months. So that was like end of last year. And then in 807, which was just 3 episodes ago, Edie predicts Phil Spencer will lose his job. Sarah Bond will take over, axing everything but Activision and Bethesda. Then Bobby Kotick will be named the new head.
I mean, the AI shill might axe everything but Activision and Blizzard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, in her email or in her statement when the announcement was made, Asha Sharma did say that she was going to, that they still believe in games being made by human beings with compelling worlds and memorable characters and all of the buzzwords that they have been using for the last 20 years about what makes Xbox gaming so special. No, not really. But bottom line is they have put in at the head of as Xbox CEO somebody who knows nothing about games.
Yeah, I wanna thank you, Vise, for saying. I remember how you guys talked about Game Pass ages ago, and Nick back then, long before anything bad happened, talked about the risks and what might happen when Phil is out.
Yep, and and it's
Tip
happening.
my imaginary hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and where is it? Andy asked, was the Microsoft stock dip related to Xbox? Did it happen yesterday? I think that happened after they put out their earnings report. That said, hey, all this money on AI is not paying off. Down, and Sad Nutella responded by firing the people in charge of Xbox so he could shove AI in it.
Right.
All he knows how to do.
And when I say that somebody Asha Sharma is not somebody who knows gaming at all, once that announcement was made, the internet sleuths went on overdrive, rightfully so. And it was found out, first off, they looked at her Xbox activity. So her Xbox activity, she didn't have an Xbox tag until a month ago. And since then, she's had a lot of very suspicious activity. Let me get to where my notes are about that. Where is it? So her profile has uncovered, looking at what she's done in the last month, very suspicious. She hit in 1 month 100% in Firewatch and Ball X Pit.
Okay, Firewatch is easy. You just play the game.
Right.
And
Ball X Pit, she hit 100%.
Ball X Pit is also relatively short.
Right, but in the last month, according to, well, actually, it was in the last week, she played 43 hours in a single week of Ball X Pit. She also unlocked rare achievements in Minecraft. And this is making people suspect that her Xbox account is being artificially boosted to add to her gaming cred. Which makes people very skeptical. Right. But it makes you it's a foolish thing to do. Clearly her stuff is being boosted.
No,
that is a stupid thing to do because we would know that, and that even makes her even less credible.
Okay,
she's just that hardcore of a gamer.
I just got back, but I just want to say 43 hours in 1 week with Ball X Pit is completely valid.
Right? That game is fucking awesome. And
right.
Yeah, you can sink hours into that game.
In a week, the week after she was named head of Xbox Gaming.
No, I'm with you, but I just want to say, like,
in her 1 month, in her 1 month of her profile being a thing, she has now a gamer score of more than 10,000 across games like Halo, Forza, Fallout, and most recently Borderlands.
don't get me wrong. I don't think you're wrong. I'm just saying, like, if I became the CEO of Xbox and someone's like, all right, you need to play Bollocks bit, 40 hours of my life is gone that week. Like, that's okay.
Yeah.
Everything else is a little sus.
And
Yeah.
her account was started on January 15th. So, yeah,
She's just a natural talent, Edie. Like,
Yeah.
she was
No,
made for gaming.
I think her statement where she walks through like the 3 things that we plan to do, it's all of it sounds good, but it's an example of someone saying all the right things, but her role, the way all of this happened, none of it makes any of that seem honest. And so
Mhm.
all of these saying the right things actually comes off as even more dishonest because the way in which all of this happened, like, oh, you're just lying to us. Like
Right.
it feels slimy.
you clearly all of the nice, friendly goodbye and hello emails are not friendly goodbye, hello emails. And so the fact that they exist at all feels like starting off with a lie.
Mhm. It undermines her credibility all across the board. And all one needs to do is look at her profile to understand that she has no credibility at all. Not just in gaming, but just to the public. You cannot trust anything she says, which is exactly what we know about AI shills.
Yes.
She is living up to exactly what our greatest fears about AI coming into gaming.
You don't understand. She's either playing on like 6 monitors at once, all logged into the same account, or they've developed a super sophisticated gamer AI that's been playing the games for her.
I would imagine it's probably the latter. It
I
would not
think it's
surprise me if
neither.
that's
No, it's
actually
just
probably not.
it's just some low-paid Indian guy who's playing it 24/7.
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah.
it is.
Or a team of low-paid Indian guys playing it 24/7.
It gives
Mhm.
me the same vibes as someone who wants to scam you. Someone
Mhm.
who, like, you know that they're trying to, like, manipulate you. Like, don't do that, CEOs.
Yeah.
Just don't.
The
So,
only
okay.
other thing that I don't wanna say that it even undermines her credibility even more, but, one of her tweets since she came out is that, she was in a little bit of a tweet conversation with, Major Nelson, him offering, good advice to her about how to be how to connect with, um, uh, with how to connect with the community. She originally wrote, "Today I begin my role as CEO at Xbox. Here are my 3 commitments. 1, great games. 2, return of at Xbox. 3, future of play." And Major Nelson had kind of said, yeah, you need to really, and also is connect with the community of gamers. You have to connect with the community of gamers. This is important. And she texted back, should I bring the blade dashboard back? It's like, what? Are you just kind of throwing that out there as kind of like proof? It's like, hey, I know what all you kids were talking about. You were loved blades, right? That was a big thing. You were
That's like the Xbox 360 dashboard, right?
right.
No,
That was
yeah,
what
yes.
I will say I did love that one.
Sure, everybody did. That's a thing. We all complain about how we miss the blades.
Because
But that
Windows
means
8
that she's
dashboard
just
sucks.
gone back
Yeah.
and looked at like tweets in the past of what people were complaining about and just threw out a buzzword to like say, hey, I get you guys. You want blades, right? It's, shooty fingers.
It's
Yeah, it's all kinds of slimy.
Yeah.
It's
like
yeah,
what's
it's not
kind
gonna
of
be good.
interesting about this moment is that like we all knew Phil Spencer was planning to retire. That's not new. That's not surprising or shocking. It's all in the how. It's the fact that because when Jim Ryan left Sony, left PlayStation, it was announced like a year in advance.
Mhm.
And this is like if they wanted to make it feel like an actual transition, you say, I'm leaving. Here's the next person that's coming on. You can still fuck over Sarah Bond and she retire and she just leaves because she's getting passed over. But it's the you say, I'm leaving, here's the next person coming on, and this will happen in 6 months. Something like that. But it's
Well,
you're out now, this other person is in now. That's just how it is.
That's not a
is-
retirement.
There
That's
is
firing.
there is no way to sell that. And if I were her, I wouldn't say a goddamn thing. Don't get in front of a camera at all. Do not give any interviews because
Nope.
no one likes you. You're entering into a job where you are singularly despised.
well, I mean, outside of just, you're not wrong, especially when you consider, like, despite the position that Xbox is in, and maybe you guys talked about this, why I stepped away, but 1 second.
Uh-oh.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
Phil Spencer, for better or worse, was a gamer. He's been front-facing on Xbox since I remember back in the Xbox 360 days. In fact, when I really miss old Xbox 360 days because there was like an emphasis on community before we had like Twitch and stuff, and that's how I met GameHounds back then. But I remember him being on like videos and stuff on the Xbox dashboard at like cons and stuff like that, talking. So like that whole experience has been kind of marked by Phil Spencer, and
Yes.
he's almost reached nostalgic levels at this point, despite where we're at now. So firing him, they know, is a PR disaster. It's
And it
And it's
doesn't,
funny. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, it speaks volumes about what Microsoft wants from Xbox, because so much of what Xbox has done lately with kind of abandoning the consoles, making things go multi-platform, that all feels like it was driven by Microsoft. We had talked about this before, that Microsoft is putting more pressure on Xbox to make money, right? That Sad Nutella has said, oh, exclusive games, that we don't like that. That's bad. I think that's a terrible idea. So all of these things that Xbox has done that are controversial, that have angered its fans, that was all driven by Microsoft. And yet they fired Phil and Sarah. So
yeah.
what are they looking for? And
Well,
the only thing I can think of is last financial quarter, Xbox lost more money, which means so I keep interrupting you, but Sad Nutella just wants money, and that means slashing and burning, because they incorporated what he wanted in terms of like changing the brand and emphasizing different things, like getting rid of the consoles or de-emphasizing the consoles, going multi-platform. Still didn't make the money. Therefore, he brought in one of his lackeys to just slash and burn.
So first of all, I was trying to interrupt you, so don't apologize for that. I also wonder if, so we do see that public facing, like the financials and stuff not doing well, public sentiment being down. But I also wonder if internally Phil Spencer was not like going with what they wanted on some things that we don't know about, in particular AI. Because when I think about Xbox, how much of Xbox's branding has been about AI? I'm actually trying to remember, maybe you guys know more than me. I can't think of anything because it's just been going to software. It isn't like Xbox powered by AI. I
No.
wonder if someone internally, maybe Phil Spencer, was against this idea. Like he knew
Yes.
that was terrible and gamers wouldn't like this. So on top of everything else, they're pushing him out and putting somebody who likes AI to be like, ooh, your next Xbox console is going to be powered by AI and it's going to be the AI gaming station.
Okay, AC Wraith, get your prediction notepad out. I predict within the next so I want to go as far as 12 months. I want to say before the end of 2026, Copilot will be on the Xbox.
So I was thinking that same thing. And
disagree.
I also thought, oh, a year. And then I thought, no. I'm not gonna take the coward's way out and say a year. I'm saying by June. I'm
You're just
gonna
going to say
say
by June. I'm going to say by
by
December.
by Summer Games Fest.
Okay, so I think odds are good that you could be right, but I want to disagree because Microsoft has been signaling that they are backing off of Copilot because they realize everyone hates it.
Hates it. I don't
Everyone
think I've
hates
ever
it.
used it for anything, and every time it comes up, I'm like, fuck no.
Yeah, no.
It won't be called
It is-
Copilot. They're gonna go back to calling it Cortana.
Yeah, they might actually, but yes.
They're going to go
From
back to
what I
calling
saw,
it Clippy. It's going to be Clippy.
I would actually like Clippy. I like.
I
Clippy.
think that the Clippy has entered the level of retro that I would accept Clippy before I would accept Copilot or Cortana.
but yeah, they've been signaling that no one wants those stupid AI features, and maybe they should evaluate that. So maybe we'll get Copilot. Maybe they'll try to shove it in. But like, there's also, I think, significant odds, maybe not as good as them doing it, that they won't.
But like, who was responsible for implementing Copilot across Microsoft?
Sad
Oh,
Nutella.
it was the core AI team.
True. Yes, it was Asha Sharma. Yeah.
Yes.
I can't say sad Nutella. That's so messed up.
He doesn't deserve like me saying his real name.
Should we make a GameHounds T-shirt? I mean, it's been years since we've had a GameHounds T-shirt, but do you think that any of you in the chat room would be interested in owning a sad, like a little like sad Nutella cartoon? We could get
gosh.
Chaos's friend to make a little, sad Nutella.
Oh yeah, a little Nutella bottle with a sad face on it.
That's dicey. I think that could be taken the wrong way. It's best we not do that. But yeah, no, I'm genuinely curious if internally Phil Spencer, despite like his capitulation with what's been happening, was internally resistant to AI in Xbox. Because
I mean, it has to be, right? Because he's kind of done everything else Sad has asked of him. And so like there had to be some wall. And what was that wall? AI feels like the natural.
I don't know of any Xbox AI branding. Like,
No,
I really
don't think there is.
And the way they were aggressively marketing it for Windows, there's no way there weren't internal talks to market it with Xbox.
Here's the thing. I think when I talked about the AI shield coming in to slash and burn, what is it? Oh, I'd buy a Mount Rushmore Game House shirt with
That's
Joey,
nice.
Nick, Idiot Andrew. Okay, I'm down with that.
Anyways,
yeah,
go on.
and Clippy was somewhat big thanks to Rossman. It would be the most corporate, cynical thing to bring Clippy back with AI.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I'd said that they're bringing in the shield to slash and burn.
Yeah.
And I think that Microsoft has already said like, 70% of our code is written with AI. We've already fired so many developers because of AI. We need to make Xbox profitable. That means getting rid of a lot of people because AI can do their job. And I want to point to one of the things she says in her statement. She says, as monetization and AI evolve and influence this future, we will not chase short-term efficiency or flood our ecosystem with soulless AI slop. Games are and always will be art, crafted by humans and created with the most innovative technology provided by us. That last part feels real telling, that we don't want AI slop because we're not going to have AI make games, but we are going to make games with AI because it's what is the innovative technology provided by us. Like, she's telling you what she's going to do. It's just that they don't think it's AI slop.
As I say, like, not soulless AI slop. We're going to put our soul into it.
Exactly. Human crafted AI slop.
So just to get the quote right, it is 30% is generally like the amount of code written with AI. Although with the way Windows has been lately, yeah, it's semantics, but it's important to be correct about AI sloppage like stuff. That being said, yeah, I could see them like. Didn't the CEO of Microsoft say it's really bad that people keep calling AI slop? Like,
Yes,
isn't that the same company who said, "Please stop doing that. It's really hurting AI."
he specifically whined about people calling it AI slop. And so I think that statement was very specifically designed and written to like, oh, she used AI slop when her boss said not to. Oh, she's
She's a
against it.
rebel.
Yeah, she's a rebel. Oh, she'll stand up to him. Like, oh, we can trust her. It's like, no,
No.
that's all part of a very carefully crafted statement. I think it's I forget the word, but it's like it's the most controlled corporate form of rebellion you could possibly do. It's like, oh, did your rebellious statement go through the proper channels and get authorized? Yes, it did. Okay, good.
Yeah. Um.
AC Ray
Corporate
says,
approved
our AI
rebellion.
is art.
Yeah.
The sixth finger is a statement.
No. You talked about how you think Sarah Bond got pushed out or like got passed over, right?
Oh,
no,
yeah.
she got passed over, and I think she left, and she's angry. She's
Yeah.
pissed.
Yeah, you
And-
said that she had a statement.
She did, and it was very corporate-y. It was nothing special. She didn't make a statement. She sent out an maybe she was a statement. I'm not quite sure, but anyway, it did come out a couple of days after the announcement was made.
It was a
wasn't
lot of
made-
saying nothing.
A lot of saying nothing.
Okay,
I wish Xbox the best in the future, and that kind of stuff.
So Phil Spencer, like I want to go back over to that really quick. You mentioned Jim. What was his last name for PlayStation?
Jim Ryan.
Jim Ryan. I don't remember the statement very well, but I remember him being on stage talking about how like this was his last year, right?
Yeah.
And how he's like, I loved this company, but I want to spend time with family, and it's like I'm losing just too much time here, and it's finally time to move on. You contrast that statement with Phil Spencer's, who's always been like, I love Xbox. Some of my greatest moments was like some of the business moves I made, getting certain companies on our side, stuff like that. And he has a lot to say about his job. Phil Spencer has in the past. The fact that his going away email speech was just, it looked like it got ran through ChatGPT to make it as corporate as possible. I would 100% told them, I would imagine they'd be like, hey, you're going to retire early. And we'll give you a lot of money to train the next person coming in. Because he mentions that he's going to be there to like pass the torch for 6 months or something like that. I'm assuming they gave him a lot of money to do that. And they told him, it's time to go.
You can retire, you can be fired.
Yeah. I'm good.
And you had mentioned that this was a PR nightmare. And it's kind of funny that Phil Spencer came on as a fix for the previous PR nightmare that was
Matrick.
Don Matrick. He came on, and it's like everybody celebrated because not only was Don Matrick was gone, was that they were putting a real game-oriented person at the head of Xbox. This is going to be a new time for Xbox. It's going to be great for Xbox. And it was. It is. It was.
Don Matrick was such a tool.
Right. Don Matrick was a corporate horrible. It's amazing that man even gets
I thought
hired
you were
by
going to say a
anybody.
different word instead of horrible. I thought that was going somewhere else.
He's that too. But Phil Spencer was brought on to fix a PR nightmare that was the previous CEO, and now he's being moved out by another PR nightmare that's coming in to replace him. It's
And,
kind
like,
of a bookend on his career.
I
Yeah.
don't want to
Oh,
defend my millionaire daddies or
Wait,
anything like
you
that.
didn't do the quack. You didn't do the quack.
Yeah, Bitter says you mentioned Don Matrick's name without doing the quack. Okay, all right. Don fucking Matrick, you're fucking out of here. Welcome to Xbox. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, not to, like I said, I'll say it again, even though it's so cringe. My multimillionaire Xbox daddy, not to defend him. I feel like he had a rough deal these last 2 years, the last 3 years.
Yeah.
I think
Bill?
Yeah.
He
Mm.
They definitely getting a lot of internal pressure to all as well.
Bitter says all is well. Good. I'm glad to know that the world was put back into the state it needed to be. Yeah.
Fuck
right.
Konami.
Yeah, fuck without me.
This does not seem like his fault. And maybe some of it is. I think the Game Pass pushing was his. I feel like
Game Pass
that is
absolutely was.
that's in line with his business philosophy over the years about like collecting studios, getting good talent, and putting that on Xbox. I think everything we've seen since them starting to go multi-platform hasn't really been his decision.
Mm-mm.
No.
And I think that his resistance to bringing on AI to Xbox, because I think he was kind of the last line of defense to keep Xbox from having things like Copilot. I think that whoa, I just lost my train of thought. I think that is the reason why they gave that unrealistic profit goal for them of something like 30% profitability this
Yeah.
year. That was never no way. I mean, the writing was on the wall when they put that one out. I think that they put that on there because they're like, okay, motherfucker, you're not going to let AI on you're not going to, get with the AI program for Microsoft. All right, make 30% and you can keep your job.
I wonder if it was
Smarty pants.
in an effort to, hey, the only way you can get to 30% is by firing people and put AI into your stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I want to make it very clear that the AI talk about Phil Spencer is all just speculation.
Yes.
Like we have
it
no
is.
we have no sources for that. It is just rampant speculation.
But I will say
It's-
that,
it's-
a little bit of inside information,
earned speculation.
I mean, it hasn't come out of the email that went out to employees, but I can say authoritatively that I didn't read it, don't know anything about the details, but I do know that in her announcement, in her email out to the employees of Xbox Gaming, that she did mention that they are working on a new next console.
Yeah, I mean that's always been in the works, but
not coming.
basically,
It's not coming.
It's
said
not
it.
coming.
It's
No.
not gonna. Nope.
I 100% think there'll be a console, but it's
Nope.
going to be a Steam machine. It's going to be a PC. They've said it as much that they're working on.
That's what they want. But they'll shut down Xbox before it gets to that point.
You think so?
Anyways, should we move on?
Oh no, because I want to say, like, I think Phil was kind of handed. You talked about him being bookended by these PR nightmares. He was kind of handed a house on fire, and did his best to put it out, because he had mentioned before losing the console war to the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One. That was the worst time to lose that war, because during that period, that's when people started amassing the digital collections. And by allowing PS4 to get a foothold, all my games are on the PlayStation marketplace. Like, that is the digital ecosystem that I'm most invested in. And so that makes it really hard to switch. It's not like in like 360 era where you kind of reset each console generation. People invested in that ecosystem, and trying to pull them off of it was impossible. So he was already handed not just a PR disaster, but also like a cultural turning point that Xbox just kind of lost the overall culture war. And I still think Game Pass is not the answer, but it was at least something different, right? It was something ambitious. It was like, okay, we can't compete in that same way, so let's do something else. And I think if Microsoft just went full publisher, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, except for the fact that, what I can get into later, the economics of that are absolutely god awful. So that's probably why they don't want to do that.
Especially since they own Activision.
Well, no, in terms of publishers, like, Activision is doing well, but it sucks out there for video game publishers. Like, it sucks to develop single player, big budget, story driven games. All the stuff that we play, that shit sucks. That is all financially, like, unviable. So I can see Microsoft wanting, or Xbox wanting to be a platform, because at least there's some money in that. But they lost that war. They lost the draw of the platforms, and there's kind of nothing that they were able to do to get that back.
I'm curious about the economics of this, but if they released Game Pass on Steam, they'd have to probably mark it up. But if they released Game Pass on Steam so that you could buy it and then play all of your games on Steam that you would play on the Xbox Game Pass, I think that would go nuts. I think there would be so many more adopters for Game Pass.
I'm
However,
trying to
like,
think how that would work. They would sell Game Pass on Steam so that you
Yeah.
could play. So it would be a platform on the platform.
Kind of. I mean, already if you load up an Xbox game, it loads up with like the Xbox store or Play, whatever. So like that wouldn't be the problem. But EA Play, for instance, you can buy that on Steam, and you can download all of the EA Play games that are on Steam directly to like your Steam library. Steam would want 30%, of course. That's their cut, and Xbox takes their 30%. So I'm not sure exactly the economics of if that would be financially viable for them. But I feel like on PC, you get a lot of pushback from people who don't want to Steam as their platform, right?
Yes.
So like that's where they play their games. They want their Steam achievements. If they could somehow work out a deal with Game Pass to bring that to Steam, I think it would pop off.
Maybe. Although, and
That's an opinion.
I can get into it a little bit. Like game industry having trouble growing. One of the big pieces of advice that came from the article about like, where is growth in the industry? Everything is stalling. How can you get off of it? Direct to customer, because those platforms take a lot of money. So if you're a publisher, don't publish on a platform. Like that was one of the major pieces of advice is, yeah, Steam, PlayStation, they take a lot of money. Fuck those guys.
I think that only works with very specific games. For instance, I don't know if you guys know what Hytale is.
Yes, I know. I've heard of it.
That's a game that's in early access now, and that's off like any platform. You can just buy it from the site, mostly because they don't want people leaving shitty reviews for it on Steam. But that's a game that it has Minecraft adjacent, so you could do that off stream.
Mhm.
Any type of indie or smaller game, I think you would struggle. I mean, itch.io has their own platform, which is known for like smaller indie titles, but any kind of AA release kind of has to go on Steam if you want to be in the PC market.
Mewgenics would not have sold $25 million worth of games.
Copies, yeah.
Yeah, without Steam. Nobody would have been able to, nobody would have found it.
Yeah. Anyway.
I mean, now they could probably take it off Steam and put it locally, and people would go, and using Steam as kind of like the jumping off point for it so that it could get name recognition and get a buzz around it. But when you're making that much money,
Well,
why?
We'll
Why
get into
take
it
it off?
later. We'll get into it later. I've realized Steam is not as big as you think it is.
Well, do we want to just move on to that? Because we can.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
talk about the Epilon release and the annual State of Gaming review, because that lends, considering that we're talking about the history or the future of Xbox, which ultimately is a future of gaming, a very large section of gaming, and will probably affect other developers or other publishers. Let's talk about this gaming review that you say is so prescient.
Okay, let me.
This was that thing that you linked the other day, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I tried to read it. Unfortunately, I was on an iPad and I was on the iPhone and I can't really read it on an iPhone. So it is a very long PowerPoint presentation, but apparently it is kind of mind-blowing.
I simply forgot.
Here's the thing. It says a lot of what you think. Like it kind of puts into graphs and into words a lot of the troubles of the industry that you expect. But it's also like to see it so starkly is the realization that what we consider the game industry, what we play, what we talk about is like a slowly fading becoming more and more niche. I think of it as Oscar movies. You look at all of the movies get nominated for an Oscar, 7 of the 10 Best Picture nominees, people go, the fuck is that? I haven't heard of that movie. What Oscar bait is that?
Mm-hmm.
That's basically the Game Awards. Even though the Game Awards are bigger than the Oscars, and look, more people probably played Expedition 33 than who watched Anora. But Expedition 33 and Anora are like the same pieces of a larger whole. They are niche games for a niche audience in parts of a larger whole. Okay. Oh my God, Kat, I'm trying to talk and you're all over me. Okay. So this is basically all of the funding. And it basically shows that it's not just like, oh, all these people are getting closed, all these studios laying off. It's that all of the funding is drying up. That
I mean, those are the COVID years. Look at that chart.
But
Yeah.
yes, that's important. But I also want to say a lot of the downturns that it talks about, he compares it to 2019. And if you look,
Yeah.
the funding between 2019 and 2025 is not all that different. So you have 5 years of mega inflation, but funding is static. So that means it went down in total. Like, ignore the COVID years and it still isn't good.
Yeah. So for anyone listening on the podcast, what we're looking at is a graph of worldwide VC and private equity funding in the video game content development studios and publishers by quarter. And it is a massive spike between 2021 and 2020, I would say 3-ish. But really, the overall amount of deals being made, although the amount of money has increased, the number of deals that have been made are about the same. And that would make sense given what we're talking about inflation. I'm assuming that they haven't, adjusted for inflation. It actually means that if you looked at, in 2016 or 2017, the second quarter of 2017, there was an investment of about 20
About 0.2 billion.
0.2 billion. Yeah. So that would be 200
million.
100 million. Right. Thank you. That it's only about that now in the fourth quarter of 2025.
Yeah.
For that same amount.
Average.
It's just a little bit more than that. So we're looking at not real on average. We're not looking at a huge amount of extra funding. And if I'm assuming this, like I said, it's not adjusted for inflation, that would mean that this has gone down as far as overall funding for games.
Okay, so I'm looking at this chart.
Oh, okay. You want me to bring that back?
Yeah. So quickly, I mean, obviously we see the COVID era, right? As we hit the peaks here, and it drops off pretty substantial. There is another early stage deal count, and I don't know if that's just a right after between it looks like 2023. There's a big spike in early stage development again, even though we have a substantial fall off of deal counts, and that might have led to a lot of all the studio closings, canceled projects that we've been seeing.
Yeah.
If I'm reading this correctly.
I mean, if you also look at what looks like the end of 2024, there's a lot of pre-seed money. And then naturally, so at the beginning of 2025, there's less pre-seed money, but a lot of early stage development because pre-seed leads to early stage. So that makes sense. But yeah, you're right that the downturn is from things that got the early stage, that got the pre-seed, and were then canceled.
Yeah. And I think if you think about the economics of the last 3 years and how AI falls into this chart, how our administration falls into this chart, after COVID, we were having kind of a downturn from all of the free money that we were getting, essentially. Not us, but loans and stuff. And then we had a fall in the economy, and it was slowly building back up, which you can kind of see in the early stage like deals, and then something happened in 2024. I'm not sure exactly what that really fucked with the market. And I want to say AI hasn't turned out to be the thing that people thought it was, and we're really
Yeah.
starting to feel that this year and like the end of last year. And if you look at that chart, I feel like it says that too. Like, when was ChatGPT announced? I thought it was like 2022, 2023.
Yeah, I think it was around there.
That was like peak speculation market. I mean, it's still peak speculation market, but I mean, that's when the hype started with Chat GPT 3.0 or 3.5. I feel like this, with public sentiment and financial sentiment for AI and such, graphics cards, the gaming market, this chart follows all of those trends kind of perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why we're kind of even now in more of a downturn. Plus, companies might not be investing in games and into that AI market itself rather than like anything towards developing games. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does. And the caption on this is it says, but despite 3 straight years of industry growth, a new record high for revenues, and a smattering of new hits each year, private funding for game makers fell another 55% in 2025 compared to 2024. And you can absolutely see that in the growth in the or in the graph, that from 2024 to 2025, there was a significant decrease in the amount of funding to games, despite the fact that games are making more money than they ever have.
Yeah.
I'm wondering
So,
if
oh,
AI speculation is sucking that money. Like,
I think that
I
that's exactly what it is. I think that there's,
yeah.
money is a finite resource, and if somebody is being asked, "Hey, do you want to fund an AI startup or do you want to fund a game?" They're going to fund an AI startup. Now, in
And
2022 and 2021 and 2022, everybody was funding games because because games were making money hand over fist. It
yeah,
was
so
it was an easy, like instant cash. It was an ATM machine back then. Now it's not the ATM machine. The ATM machine is, in theory, AI, but the AI has not actually delivered on any of the promises, and I don't think it will.
that brings me to this other one that I thought was interesting, that he says a lot of new content investment goes to external development partners that can offer lower talent costs, shorter commitments, and more flexible contracts. That's that's basically, we don't have Naughty Dog, but a developer with 200 people who make a game over a number of years. You have Silk Songs, like, oh, the core team of 3 people, and then a bunch of contractors. You
Mhm.
have Expedition 33, right? It has like a 30-person development team, and then a bunch of contractors.
I think it was 55, and they said they outsourced a lot of
Yeah.
things.
And that's basically saying the game industry is turning into the VFX industry, which I had said before is a dangerous road to go down, because the VFX industry is defined by these VFX houses constantly trying to bid and undercut each other with shorter timelines, shorter, cheaper contracts. They need to undercut each other to get picked up by Marvel. Uh, and then they deliver VFX really rushed. And that's what kind of leads to people going, oh, these VFX look bad. Well, because the developers don't have time to work on it. And if the gaming industry goes that route, with these external developers constantly trying to undercut each other, then that will only impact the games.
Right. Right. Yeah, it's all going to be gig work and hired mercenaries just trying to get stuff out as fast as possible. And when you're talking about contractors like that, because they're undercutting each other, because they're trying to bid low and therefore do things very quickly, they're going to be relying more and more on AI to help them code
Yeah.
and doing less quality check of those codes. You're going to have AI make sloppy code. And it needs a human being to come in afterwards to kind of clean up after the fact. You're going to have fewer people that are going to come back and clean up after the fact because
Yeah.
people cost money.
Yes.
AI does it.
So I'm looking at your next
Well,
slide with
yes.
China.
The next one is about, because what this also gets into is so much of the issues facing the gaming industry are really the American gaming industry. China is fucking exploding.
I would say Western gaming industry,
Sure, Western.
just
But
to
like
lope in
if
like
you
EU.
no, I think like in Europe things are still doing okay. But it's in the US that things are really shrinking. And here I want to compare specifically 2019 to 2025, pre-pandemic to now. And overall, the global growth is about the same total, but China is a much bigger part. China went from $1.5 billion spent in gaming in 2019 to 3.7. It's almost half.
So
That's all one territory.
I think it's very easy for us to, like, in the context of gaming, we usually talk about PC and console. That's small beans. That is
Yes.
becoming small beans. And you look at this is about mobile as well. And
Yes.
that is the Chinese market. Like, that is huge. And not
Let's
to mention,
see.
like, in China, PC gaming is also on the rise. You consider stuff like Wukong and the numbers that got when it launched, right? Like,
Yeah.
we're talking like
Where is this it? There's a whole thing. No, that's iGaming.
2 to 3 million people for Wukong when that came out on Steam. One of the like largest games to launch on the platform. And most of that was the Chinese player base. You can't look at that when you're developing a game and be like, well, we can ignore that segment. That is too large.
I'm stepping away, but I'm still listening.
Okay. Yeah, he specifically mentions, oh fuck, I can't find it. Like
For the audio listeners,
you need to I'm like browsing through a giant 164 page slideshow. But yeah, he specifically mentions that one of the ways to increase revenue is target low end devices. Like
yeah.
that is one of the things you have to do, because that's where most people are. Fuck, where is it?
This seems so basic to me, but when you consider like how games are optimized nowadays for like PC and how shit it's been, because the assumption is that hardware will just keep up. But the fact is, even if hardware keeps up, most people have lower, and I say with quotations, lower end systems. And it really should be optimized towards that.
Yes.
You would do better, but they don't want to spend the money on the
I can't find
optimization.
that. Yeah, and I think so. To the more existential questions, like you have everyone shrinking, but there's also just less people playing games. Like the audience for this industry is shrinking. It has shrunk from the COVID highs, but it's also shrunk from 2019. And that's an important point of like when gaming was on the rise compared to those pre-pandemic years, less people say that they're gaming, and less people have said that even if they do game, they're spending less time. And this is happening all over the world. And I did say things are okay in other countries. Down less than in the US, but still, like down in Italy, grew in the UK, down in France, or kind of flatlined in France. Germany is up, but like it's kind of a stagnating industry. And
So-
that creates like a death spiral.
I wonder
Where
how much
it-
of that has to do with the economy, in that people
there's-
have less time because they have less, well, A, they have less money to spend on games, but B, they have less time because they're working more. Because
So it's not just
it's
that.
hurting.
It's that he argues that gaming has lost the war for attention. That basically many other things in the world have been gamified, that interactive entertainment is still really popular, but people get that interactive entertainment from other things like social video, creator pornography, interacting with OnlyFans people, AI assistants, whether that be like talking with someone, chatbots, creating art with AI, again, porn with AI, trading crypto and meme coins,
So good he said it
betting.
twice.
It's both. It's an increased accessibility to real porn stars, and then the ability to create fake porn stars. There's betting on crypto. There's betting on prediction markets. There's sports betting, which has exploded. And then there's the rise of iGaming and iCasinos, which are basically real money online gaming. So instead of pulling a slot machine and like winning tokens, you're pulling a digital slot machine and winning real money. But all of these things are basically gamified entertainment, and they're eating into video games because the people most likely to embrace all of these things are men 18 to 34. And those are also the people most likely to play video games on a PC or console. So all you have these other gamified aspects of society targeting the same demographic and naturally eating into that demographic.
I'm looking at that graph at the all 55, and I'm beginning to realize what a unicorn I truly am.
Funny enough, like DVD, I have met a lot of women over 55 who play that game. Like disproportionate to what this graph says. I'm throwing that out there. Go.
For which game?
Which game?
Dead by Daylight.
Oh,
Yeah,
I can see that.
Okay, so maybe there's more to this that you want to discuss before I get into. Okay, this is
Go
a
nuts.
very
Just go.
personal take
Okay.
and it's very political, but
Okay.
I reject the premise of what's happening here, and that is
the war for attention.
no, the capitalistic growth of the gaming industry and its natural peak saturation. The idea that we keep needing to grow the gaming industry year over year, like all things with that, is inherently the problem. Because it leads to the fact that we're making less games because the games that do get made have to be sellers. They have to be appealable to everyone. It means that companies are going to prioritize shuttering studios rather than trying to build smaller, profitable games, because that's not going to. If your company makes $10 million profit, that's good. If you cover your revenue and make $10 million profit on a smaller game, that should be fantastic. But that doesn't show up on your 2.5 billion profit margin. That's a drop in the well.
Mm-hmm.
And the more and more we need the big numbers, the more we're going to need live service games that make $1 billion a year. The more like indies are always going to kind of exist because you're going to have talented, passionate people making smaller projects. But getting funding to make those AA games and stuff that don't sell gangbusters are going to continue to shrink.
And
So-
AC Ray says infinite growth is a lie. Also, and I don't know if he talks about this because I didn't go through the whole slideshow, is we are in a population shrink and have been for quite a few years. Like for the last 15 years, certainly in Western countries, westernized countries, we are seeing a drop in the birth rate and have seen a drop in the birth rate right about the amount that is those 18 to 24-year-olds. So the concept of infinite growth is going to inevitably catch up with the fact that there are going to be fewer people to replace those that are dying. Now, the ones that are dying are probably at this point, you see that 55 plus, those are people that are a relatively small amount of the gaming public. That being said, you're not going to see that infinite growth because there aren't enough people to replace those that are leaving the market.
So yes,
And aging out
I
and
switched.
aging out of the market, because remember, it's not just dying, it's also hitting a certain point in your age where you're no longer gaming. And 18 to 24-year-olds have a lot more free time to be able to do gaming than, say, a 35 to 45-year-old or even
Yeah.
a 30-year-old. You're good at a certain point, you're going to stop gaming. So they're dying as far as the gaming industry is concerned at a much lower age than what you see of actual physical death. So it's the impact of a shrinking population of young people in over is overemphasized within that market because that window for prime gaming is very short, and that is because of life. That doesn't change.
So regarding the infinite growth, he mentions that it's not necessarily about infinite growth is impossible. It's that players are going away, that player base is shrinking. And a lot of the stuff that we see happening is a result of that. That if you don't have more players, then all new investment has to be paid for by existing players. That means that individual games can only grow by stealing other games' players. That makes it harder for new games to break through. And that means that the network effect of all games and gaming platforms are impaired, which in turn impairs the satisfaction and spending rates of all players. And he mentions what you were saying, getting at Edie. If some players have stopped playing altogether, then that also means that people are probably playing less too. And all of that creates a death spiral. It's not just about infinite growth. It's that when your player base is shrinking, when your market is shrinking, that creates a death spiral that you have to keep kind of milking the people that you have because that's the only way to survive.
So I guess throwing two more ideas into this. We know that like outside of indies, big budget games have been being made less and less, right? Like consider how many studios have been shuttered in the last 5 years. Or I guess probably 3 is more accurate. There was kind of a peak like in the chart itself during COVID.
Yeah, here, I can also.
I think we also do a disservice by not having variety. And attached to this, we know that the live service genre is kind of fading, not fading, but it's kind of once again reached peak saturation, right? We have the big contenders, the stuff that's still being developed that people want to play. And to break into this, you have to offer something unique and interesting that makes people want to go to that game. But I wonder if just the concept of live service and how much it's being pushed is contributing to it eating itself in the game industry. It's great if you're an Overwatch or Marvel, but it means that you want all of their attention all of the time, which means that EA can't produce a game that they're going to sell and like be done with because people are playing those live service games all the time.
So my counter to that is this, that most people don't play those new games. Those AA indie games, those single player AAA games, most people do not play them. Most people, like 30 to 40% of all gaming time is spent on 5 games. And he looks at the PlayStation and Xbox Big 5 and the PC Big 5. And Call of Duty, FIFA, Fortnite, Grand Theft Auto 5, and NBA 2K.
That was the point I was about to get at.
The next 5, if you counted like the next 5 games under that, 60%. So that leaves 40% of all gaming time for literally every other game to come out other than the top 10.
So
that's just most people don't play new games.
And I wasn't going to talk about it until next week, but the retail tracking firm Circana shared their top 5 most played PlayStation games in the United States in 2026. And if you look at and they did 2026, 2025, 2024, 2023, and 2022, almost exactly the same games in 2026 as 2022 for the most played PlayStation games.
Can you go back really quick? Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
In 2025, Fortnite topped the list. Let's see. Well, look at 2025. Fortnite, Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto 5, Roblox, and Minecraft. Those were the top most played PlayStation games of 2025.
Those are all
In
listed in the Big Five.
In 2022, Grand Theft Auto, Fortnite, Call of Duty Warzone, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Apex Legends.
Yeah.
So you're seeing essentially the same things. Top 2 in 2023, Fortnite, Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Call of Duty HQ, Minecraft. 2024, Fortnite, Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto 5, Roblox, Minecraft. 2025, Fortnite, Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, Roblox, Minecraft. They're exactly the same games for the last 5 years.
Nick, I was going to read off the top ones just so that
Okay.
the audio listeners know what amounts to the top 10 games.
Yeah.
It was just for the people who are listening. It's Call of Duty, FIFA, EA, Football Company, Fortnite, Grand Theft Auto 5, NBA 2K. These are the top
Top
games.
on console.
Yes, and then
Football Club, by the way.
PC is Football Club. Didn't I say that?
You said company.
Oh, company. Oops. And then for PC, Counter-Strike, Fortnite, League of Legends, Minecraft, Roblox. So I want to say that this was kind of the point that I was making, in that you look at these charts, and first thing I want to point out is the majority of these games are free to play.
Yes,
Call of Duty
true,
has Warzone
true.
that is
Yeah.
free to play. Fortnite. Grand Theft Auto 5 is not free to play, but it is a game that has been out for 13 years, and you have probably bought it at some point.
It's
and
free
then
to most everybody at this point.
Counter-Strike, League of Legends, and then once again, Minecraft, not a free game, but one that is you've probably bought in Minecraft. And my point I was making was Counter-Strike's been around forever, so I can't really speak towards that. Madden and the Football Club game, or EA's sports game in this case, particularly the Football Club. They have yearly releases. Call of Duty, Roblox, Fortnite, League of Legends. These are live service games. And by their very existence, by this push to make more games like this, you have locked your player base in, entirely. They cannot go play other games
It's
at
like
all.
what happened with PlayStation and Xbox. You're in that ecosystem.
But it also means that, this desire for the industry to make those kinds of games necessitates it eating itself, because it means you can't expand beyond these games
Yeah.
because no one wants to go play those.
And I think that's what you're seeing, is that these games are kind of like black holes. They're kind of consuming a lot of players. And yeah, they're consuming a lot of players. There's fewer players already, but what players there are focusing on free-to-play games, live service games, the same games, and they're not playing new games, which means that it makes it harder for anyone else to enter the market, whether you're making a live service game or a single-player game.
And I can say this about having an insight into younger gamers now. The girl child has been playing Roblox since she was 9 or 10 and is still playing Roblox. And that is kind of the genius of Roblox, is she's constantly playing a new game. Her big obsession now is Uno on Roblox.
So
she can play all different games, and she
there
just
it is.
stays with Roblox.
Oh.
One of the things that he talked about, one of the things he's like, hey, what are the areas of growth? One of them
It's
is
Roblox.
just Roblox.
Yeah.
And you can see in terms of time spent, Roblox is bigger than Steam, PlayStation, and Fortnite combined.
Oh,
Yeah.
Roblox is twice as big as Steam. Like,
The
think
thing-
about that.
10 times as big as Blizzard.
It's
Yeah.
crazy because what Edie just said, when we think about Roblox, especially as older folks, we hear one game. But just like Edie just said,
Yeah.
it's not. You have to think of Roblox like Steam. And
Mhm.
Yeah,
that
it's a
it is
platform.
it is a platform, and most of the content is free.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's
The-
if you're
all-
in go ahead.
The red games in this chart are Roblox games. And you can see
Yes.
Grow a Garden has almost the same player base itself as Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so much to this that I want to like talk
It
about.
has a bigger, that one game on Roblox has a bigger player count than all of Blizzard.
Yeah.
Everything that Blizzard makes. It is, Roblox is honestly sucking the life out of all
Well,
other gaming
basically,
because it is
Roblox-
so many, it is all the games. It's like
Yeah.
the girl child is in that Roblox ecosystem, and she doesn't ever have to go off of that ecosystem. I will constantly be like, oh, you're playing Uno. She goes, well, on Roblox. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, well, Jesus Christ, you're still playing Roblox. You of all children, you have access to everything that Microsoft makes at a discount. Everything on the
You are
get it
gaming
through your dad
royalty.
for free. You are gaming royalty, and all you're doing is playing Roblox and getting Robux for birthday and Christmas. That's all you want is Robux.
Okay, so Roblox is also existing in a perfect time because of the economic downturn that we've been
Yeah.
facing.
Yeah, because I think you're
And-
right. It's important that all these games are free. You can spend money on them, like the Robux is a thing, but it is a free. Most of the stuff is free.
Yes,
so you
and
have-
even if
Like this smorgasbord of free things available to you.
and going back into what you were saying a long time ago, like early in the podcast about when Xbox lost the console war and that you had bought into PlayStation, right? Roblox has pulled the tobacco of marketing tactics and have targeted children early so that all of their friends are playing Roblox. They've spent money, they've spent 5 birthdays putting Roblox into the game, or Robux, whatever they're called. You have a young generation that has bought in. Not only that, is also on mobile. It is very
Yes.
accessible.
It he had a slide specifically. This is interesting. Look, Roblox is about to challenge Netflix for total hours of
Jesus.
use.
Roblox
my
is the final
God.
boss of the gaming industry right now.
It is.
Oh, where
That is my
it? Yeah,
takeaway from this entire thing. It's just
So-
it's Roblox's fault.
look at this chart. The black is mobile.
Yep.
The green is desktops, is PCs, and the yellow is console. So basically, for the viewers, there were maybe, let's say, 2 billion people on desktop and console, and
Playing
the
Roblox.
other 10 billion, no, the other 11 billion people on mobile.
Look at that fucking spike.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Is that
Yeah. That's
is
in
that
just
sh-
2025.
is that a response to the financial crisis that we're going through?
It could very well be, because I want to go back to
Because genuinely, that graph.
Actually, go back to that graph. Go back to that graph, which I just think
Oh.
is fascinating.
You can see a steady growth from
Mhm.
2020 to 2024, even with COVID in that growth.
Right, right. See,
But then it
in 2020, when kids were home, and
yeah, there is a pandemic spike.
there is a pandemic, but it never goes down. Like for everything else, you saw a spike in the pandemic, and then everything comes back to normal.
Yeah.
There is it. They just got on it, and they stayed on it, and they've stayed on it the entire time. There is no downturn from this massive spike
And so
This
from
needs to be
2020
studied.
on.
that brings me to this chart, which I think is interesting: the revenue per hour.
Oh my
Roblox.
God.
Roblox
Oh my
is so
God.
much lower than Steam or PlayStation, and yet it's growing. It's twice as big as those platforms. That's because those platforms are increasing prices to squeeze more money out of a shrinking user base. Roblox got all of the users that Steam and PlayStation lost. So its
Well,
revenue per hour may be much lower, but its total players are bigger. And so its total money is bigger.
I also think Roblox can
Jesus, look at that
implement
operating cash flow in 2025 for Roblox. It just
Yeah.
just exploded this year.
Roblox can also implement better dark, or what's it called, dark tactics,
Yeah, the dark. I know what you mean. Dark patterns?
dark patterns, yeah, than something like Steam or PlayStation. Because Steam or PlayStation, you interact with a marketplace, an interface to look through your games and buy individual things. Whereas, from what I understand of Roblox, it has all of the thing that gacha games can do, where it's like, oh, here's a pop-up, here's a sale. Like, you're in that game in a way that you're not looking at it like a storefront, and you're looking at it like a metaverse, the thing that Mark Zuckerberg wanted, where you're in it and they can just feed you the content directly to your face. You don't have to go look for it. Where
Mhm.
Yeah.
you have to
You
go
can
look for
jump
it and see.
from one content to another content to another content without ever leaving Roblox.
And the way that they can market towards you with buying Roblox is like, oh, I have 100 Roblox, but this thing is 120. Well, shit, I have to put 10 more dollars into the game so I can buy this thing that I want. And then you're
Yeah.
left with 880. So just like with mobile games, you're never left with a flat amount that you just spend unless you plan it out. But we're talking about kids. They're not going to do that.
Yeah. So this was just to say, like, look, Roblox is huge, but that's like, that is the gaming industry.
Fuck everything I've said before. It's just
And-
Roblox. Roblox is the problem.
And he when he looked into like what are the 5 biggest areas for growth in gaming, and like
Roblox.
I don't have to get into all of these, but he's like non-core markets. That means not the US, not Canada, things like China, things like Middle East, things like Asia Pacific, what's the term? Pacific Asian.
I think China is going to be a huge market in the
Oh, it
going forward in the
absolutely
next 10
is.
years.
Like
But it's
there's
also a
whole
closed
thing,
market.
there's a whole thing about that. It's a
I think
closed
it's
market,
opening.
but also it's opening, but most Chinese players spend money on Chinese games, but Chinese games are becoming popular worldwide.
Yes.
Mhm.
We are spending more money on Chinese games.
Right.
I've seen it. A lot of what's been coming out of China is quality, and
Yeah.
I don't know if that is down to tinfoil hat, I guess. Not substantiated, but I could definitely see it if the CCP has made a push to invest in the gaming industry in a way to
Soft power,
popularize, huh?
like to
Yeah.
create soft power.
Yes. So you're putting Chinese. You guys are playing Where Winds Meet, for instance.
Yeah.
There's a lot of games that are coming out that are looking really nice. Like I want to play Phantom Blade Zero.
I'm so excited for Phantom Blade Zero.
Wukong, fantastic. By doing this, you're getting less and less people who are playing these games who are going to be like China bad. You're going to be like, oh no, they have some good stuff over there. Like I like this. Maybe we should invest more into that. And I'm wondering if this is intentional or not. I can't really. I don't know this.
I think
absolutely think that it softens the opinion of China politically with the next generation. Is it the more familiarity breeds familiarity, breeds speeds.
Yes, I think
it reduces a mistrust because
at a moment when America's soft power is on the decline, China is absolutely stepping into that void. And like I can say, as someone who likes single player, story driven, big budget games, China is kind of stepping up to provide those when the American game industry has kind of abandoned them.
AC Wraith puts out that like there's been good Chinese animation in the last few years, like Neja, that movie.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Also, NetEase, I believe. Yeah, NetEase is a Chinese company, so you got Marvel Rivals.
Yeah.
This is all after Tencent. Understand that Tencent has been worming its way for the last decade into every orifice of gaming. I'm saying that particularly bad, but that is absolutely what they've been doing. And so I'm curious about how much financial backing of the current industry is backed by Tencent. But now you have like front-facing NetEase and other Chinese developers who are throwing that out there to the wider global audience.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's non-core markets.
Yeah, so that's non-core Mike. He also recommended advertising. Because look, advertising is big in mobile. Just a way to get money. Direct to
Secondary
consumer.
revenue stream.
Yeah, direct to consumer. Avoid those platforms. Avoid those platform fees. External development. Outsource. It's cheaper. Roblox. What's important?
Roblox is just dark green.
Well, that's because it's next on the thing.
Okay.
That's why. But what's important, looking at all those, none of those is the return of console exclusive games. None of those is like let's make Xbox a major player in the console market again. None of it is the return of AAA
small
games.
developers or
none of it's small developers. All the stuff we play is like that's not where the money is.
That's not where the revenue growth is going to be.
It's because, like I mentioned earlier when I brought this up, it's the market we are talking about is in tens, hundreds of billions of dollars. Having a studio that makes $10 million profit doesn't fucking matter. Like, that doesn't change anything. You need a game that makes 100 million. You need a game that makes $1 billion. You don't need smaller studios that just are good.
There was a good chart here, and I didn't have it written down, but he looked at the financials of one particular mobile game that was like, oh, it made $1 billion. But then it had to pay like 30% to platform fees. And then it had to spend $1 billion on player acquisition. And then it had a bunch of other fees. And so in the end, it lost money. And it was like, oh, this mobile game that earned $1 billion lost money.
Which game was this?
It was like I'm trying to find the slide. Is this it? No. It was just one he used as an example. Let's see.
But that's terrifying that you could make $1 billion, but it took so much to get the player base that it took $1 billion just to get people to play it.
I mean, there was a report, an article's news a couple months ago that Monopoly Go spent $500 million on player acquisition. That one of the reasons
silly.
One of the reasons mobile gaming has kind of stalled is because it costs so much money to get those players now.
I wonder how much that Kingdom, what's the name of that mobile game that all the celebrities are shilling?
Oh, Candy Crush? No, Kingdom Rush?
No. It's Kingdom.
I don't know. Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here it is. So Royal Match was the second highest grossing new game since 2020. It had 1.1 billion in net revenue in 2023 and spent 1.1 billion on user acquisition. So you can see on the left, gross revenue was 1.52 billion. Paid 0.45 billion in platform fees, leaving it a net revenue of 1.06 billion. User acquisition costs 1.07 billion, All other costs were 0.13 billion, leading to a 0.13 billion loss in operating profit.
Jeez. The game that I was thinking of is Royal Kingdom, which, is all over TikTok and YouTube. And I've seen the ads on actually network television on CBS that hired celebrities like LeBron James and Amy Poehler and Kevin Hart, John Hamm, Jimmy Fallon. You're seeing these ads and that's player acquisition, that's advertising costs.
Yes.
Even though they have a ton of an install base, you've got to wonder, like, they've got to be losing money because there's no way that you could hire LeBron James to shill your mobile game. All of those people shilling your mobile game and be making money off of it.
The more we talk about this, the more I hate the premise so much of like this entire slide. And I get that this is not for someone like me, right? Like this is not necessarily for a ground level person who's going to have no influence over any of this or investment decisions. And just like it has always been such that entertainment is like codified in a way that's just for sale, like just for markets. But there is art, there's creativity here that like should exist in an ideal world that is allowed to breathe and survive without having to turn an insane profit.
Yes.
And
I'm with you. It's like,
also keep in mind with this Dream Games, this is the 1 year. This is 2023 when it released. It still has that player install base. They're not looking to make money in 2023. They're looking to make money in 2024.
Yes.
Because they have the users to actually have almost broken even.
Yes, but this chart is very clear. Like if you watch the next year, you wouldn't have the gross or the
net revenue. You wouldn't have
costs.
the gross revenue, but you wouldn't also have the same acquisition costs.
Although maybe those acquisition costs will be higher because people move on to another game. Like, I don't know. But to sum it all up, I feel like all of this is really important context when we talk about Sony closing Bluepoint.
Yeah.
This makes me feel so dirty.
Because the question is like, how could Sony do this? How could they close this studio that is critically acclaimed, that makes the Shadow of the Colossus remake, that made the Demon Souls remake? How could they close this critically acclaimed, like relatively small studio?
Successful studio.
Yeah. Well, because of everything we saw, its successes were probably not enough.
Yeah, we talked about this a bit, but I went on an effort to try to see if I could find out how much Bluepoint makes, and none of this is public. And I get that it's not public, but it's if Bluepoint was like failing, if it was the games weren't turning a profit, that'd be one thing I could like, okay, that makes sense. But you can't find any of that information.
So I do wonder, because I did a lot of research. The last game they made was the Demon Souls remake.
Correct. To sell the PlayStation 5.
Yes. Sold about 2 million copies its first year, which, given that it came out when there was a huge supply chain issue for the PS5, pretty good. Overall, for what that maybe not that good.
Does that count how many came with the console itself?
I don't think it was bundled.
Okay, it might not have been.
But yeah, like that game, for as critically acclaimed as it was, like it didn't really sell all that much.
Well, I mean, that's good.
Like that's when they went and worked on the live service God of War game, which got canceled and kind of led to this. And what I think is kind of the scariest thing, taking all the big, downturn of these type of games, the type of games that Sony makes are the type of games that most people aren't playing. To take all that into consideration, the idea that a 70-person studio, which is pretty small, had a pitch, couldn't pitch something to Sony that they thought was financially viable.
Realistically, when you think of something like Bluepoint, with them making a remakes, right?
Mhm.
Ideally, the cost should be lower because you technically shouldn't need to have a writer. You
Yeah.
shouldn't be building from the ground up. Things should move faster. 70 people should be smaller operating costs. Putting them on, so they were working on the God of War live service game, whatever that was going to be. And that was canceled, and then they were shuttered a year later. So they haven't had a project for a year that we know of. Demon Souls, I think, came out in 2020, right?
Yes.
So the last 5 years they've been working on this God of War game, maybe.
Yeah, maybe
they're
probably helping out on other games. They are mainly a support studio. Like they've done a lot of support work for
right.
PlayStation games.
So clearly they probably weren't turning a big profit right now. That being said, I imagine this was a decision that was just a ROI decision, an opportunity cost decision, where even if they were profitable, as I've said 4 times now, they're not going to make $100 million. They're not going to make $500 million. They're probably going to make like 60, 70, and I don't even know how much that would be profit. That's completely out of my ass. No like hard facts there, but if they could take that money and go put it into their next live service game, the opportunity cost of spending money on them isn't worth it. And
Right.
that is a fucking shame.
Yeah.
This goes so deeply against my internal values that I am so angry about this. And this is why I got ranty, and while AC Wraith said I ranted about this. And in our private chat, I did mention, like, I'm so angry that you can't even be a good studio and like turn a profit, because I want to see Legend of Dragoon. They could have been working on the God of War remakes. There are so many things that they could be working on that people would love. It would give you brand loyalty, like all that shit. And they're gone. There's 70 more people. I think they're getting absorbed into the Sony system, but who knows? We've lost something, the potential for something, because the return on investment wouldn't be good enough for them. And it makes me so angry.
And I wonder if, like, Sony's seems like a big player in the space. All the charts that I was talking about talked about PlayStation. They didn't talk about Xbox, but it's still small, compared to Roblox. And so I
Everything's
wonder
small.
if Sony needs to come to terms with 70 million is okay, right? Like if the studio just pays for itself, that's okay. And I feel like it's bad that they closed. Like I said, it's bad that they were looking at a relatively small studio that does remakes, was, like you said, should be lower investment, and they couldn't find a financially viable project for them to work on. I don't want to hit the panic button yet, because I want to see what they do to Housemarque. Because I think there's a lot of interesting parallels between Housemarque and Bluepoint. They're similarly sized studios. I think Housemarque is like 110 people. Returnal sold about 2 million copies on between PS5 and PC. So similarly sized studios with similarly selling games. Oh my god. Like what happens when, oh god, Soros comes out? Because Soros is meant to be kind of a more mainstream version of Returnal. The key difference between these two companies, though, is that Housemarque is in Finland and Bluepoint was in Austin, Texas. And so I wonder if Sony is just pulling out of the US gaming market like so many other foreign publishers have? Is this just, let's get out of America?
See, I'm curious about that because I imagine like the development costs for having a studio in Finland would be more expensive than Austin, Texas.
I don't
It's
know.
hard to tell.
I don't know.
I can't wonder if there is a difference between the two. We cannot separate when we're talking about foreign investments in the United States. We cannot separate let's just say, eroding of the trust of the United States as
It could
a
absolutely be a
place for
factor.
investing. That we have over the last very recent years really started to become a country that can't be trusted as far as our stable economy, our stable economic policies.
The trust in the dollar.
The trust in the
Yeah.
dollar, the trust in the US economy, the trust in policy of foreign investment, trust of policy of domestic investment has been eroded because we have been making moves on that front, all the way from tariffs to strange decisions when it has to come to decisions with the Supreme Court that where we've always been a place of economic stability. Like United States is always going to be there, and they're always going to do business on a certain scale at a certain way, and we can always trust that there's not going to come somebody's going to walk in and have an executive order that completely upends everything. That has no longer exists, and it's not just politically as far as like foreign policy on a political scale, where Europe can no longer trust us to be a partner that they can trust, say, with security, not just economic security, but like, global security. Now it's also the same thing with our business, and we're dodgy. It's like, well, we're not quite sure, yes, we know what things are like tomorrow, or today, but tomorrow everything could change. Someone could walk in and say, you're not allowed to own this company anymore because you are a Japanese company owning a company in the United States. That's what happened with TikTok.
Yeah.
Well, Chinese company, but
In that case, it was Chinese. I'm talking about
Yeah.
Sony being a Japanese company. It could be, who knows? And it is really very much of what, honestly, one or two people in our country had just wake up one day and decide they're going to do.
also I want to point out that shuttering a studio in Austin, Texas is probably way easier than shuttering a
Mhm.
studio in Finland.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
legally. So there's
Yeah.
also that. And
Yeah.
also,
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, by the end of this year, I would love to see how much Soros has sold, and what does Sony do to Housemarque given that information. Does
I
it
think
does it sell 2 million copies? Can it break that 2 million barrier? And if it can't, does Housemarque get shut down? And if they do, I think that speaks to a lot of like bigger issues at Sony. If it doesn't, I think that
Speaks
it's
to
a
issues
lot
in the
of
United States.
yeah.
well, also I want to point out that like Soros probably has, like, again, mentioning that opportunity cost, that is creating a world, whereas like Bluepoint would just be doing remakes or
Yeah.
working with established IP, whereas
Yeah.
Soros has a chance to be a franchise.
Yeah.
Like, there might be more financial motivation to keep that studio, those games going.
Yeah, we
Then
talked
Bluepoint.
last episode about how Horizon is like one of their few big
Yes.
new IPs, and they could use another one of those.
Okay. But yes, aren't we happy? Isn't everyone excited for what's coming in the gaming world?
Oh yeah, it's like there's all this shit and it's all bad, but I feel like that just means it's important to embrace the games that you like now. Like, look,
Yes.
man,
Do you have
Phantom
a
Blade
backlog?
Zero looks cool, and you should be excited for it. Like, be excited for the stuff that is coming out, because I don't know what will happen in 5 years. But this year, looks like it's going to be a really good one for games, and like play those games
Enjoy
and
it.
enjoy them.
Enjoy them with the other chance.
Yeah.
AC Wraith linked a supplemental article that is basically our YouTube, that it's hard to believe that Blue Point was unsalvageable. And I agree with this.
Yeah.
There was definitely potential there.
That's
And
why I'm wondering like if there's something else, because yeah, I agree. It's
indie
hard.
games for the wind as well. Also, one thing to wrap this up, a thought that I hadn't really considered till just now, is what is going on at Sony HQ? What are they seeing with their potential financial forecast for the next 2 to 3 years with the cost of hardware?
Yeah.
What are they seeing that the cost of RAM, CPU, storage, all of this shit has blown up? Are they just seeing that we are expecting a financial downturn in the next few years, such that they need to prep by getting rid of supplemental studios like Blue Point?
Well, what was
Is
one of
this in
the
preparation of financial fallout?
One of the sources of revenue growth that you identified was outsourcing.
Yeah.
Why keep something, especially something like Blue Point, which was, like you said, was making remakes? Why keep that in-house when you could outsource that very easily?
I mean, consider their PC ports have been done by Nixon, and they just outsource that, because I don't think Nixon is owned by Sony, but they handle almost all of their PC ports. And Nixon does good work. I want to make that clear. Nixon is not a problem, but it is an outsourced company for Sony.
I'm I that does not surprise me, if only for that the Blue Point was shuttered, if only for that reason. And I think that you're right, Andrew, that Sony right now is in pretty good shape for the next year, because they said that they have enough, parts on their shelves. They have enough RAM on their shelves that they're going to be able to get through 2026. 2027, not so much. So they're going to be making decisions based on the idea that it's not going to fix itself in the next year. And I think that's a pretty good bet, that not a lot is going to change for the better in the next year when it comes to RAM, when it comes to SSDs. They've got to be making decisions now to protect themselves for the future. And if they're wrong, they can certainly start up the next Blue Point later.
Yeah, and I mean, even if the bubble pops, the foundation and framework for the next year for most big companies has been laid. There are contracts that are signed, guarantees that are promised, and that won't change, I think, no matter what. Even if it fell out tomorrow, we are a year or two away from course correction.
Right. And maybe that is the case, or maybe not. Maybe it's 3 years. Maybe it's 4 years. We don't know. We know it's coming. I think everybody knows that there's a course correction coming. We just don't know when it is. And so Sony is putting themselves in the footing so that they can protect themselves if it is more extended than 12 months or 24 months.
That's if it dropped today. Like if tomorrow, it would be an economic collapse. But if tomorrow they were like, oh yeah, the AI bubble, done, popped. We're out of that. We're no longer building fabs for more RAM and stuff like that because the floor fell out. That's still a year or two out. You're right. Like if this limps along for another year or two on the bubble, we're 4 years out, right? Like we're so far away. Anyways,
so don't expect PlayStation 6 anytime soon.
Great.
Yeah,
Great
they've
industry.
already said that they're going to delay that. And and we all know as because you cannot trust anything that comes out of Xbox now, specifically now, even though they might be talking about still doing a console. I don't think that they could say they're working on a console. I don't believe her. I mean,
Are we sure Asha is
she's too busy.
AI?
Yeah, she's too busy.
That's a good question.
Oh, is Asha not real?
Yeah, is Asha AI?
Okay, that's a terrible joke. She's real. Don't worry about it.
By the way, if you want to see something really hilarious about AI, unfortunately, I haven't read the whole thing. There's a company that put in an AI vending machine at the New York
I read
Times,
that.
and it went horribly, horribly wrong to like hilarity. Um, if you look it up, look up the story on what happened with the AI vending machine at New York Times. Great read.
I love
Okay.
gaming. I love the industry. I love the people in it. This hurts
Yeah.
me. This hurts my soul.
Okay, let me pose this to you. Is this something that maybe the gaming industry needed? Maybe the gaming industry was its own bubble. That
No,
a
I don't think
return
so.
to its core, burn it all down so that it can start over again, new and fresh.
If there was a bubble, it was obviously during COVID and the
Mhm.
pandemic. That was a bubble, but that was a bubble for pretty much everything.
Right.
I think just subsequent bubbles, like the AI bubble in particular, is the problem. It's not that the gaming bubbles popped. That did pop, but like that was a year or two ago that it popped. What we're
Mhm.
seeing now is just financial instability and I think market saturation.
I'm not
Eh,
talking about that kind of bubble. I'm talking about if I was gonna pick if there were a game industry bubble, that it started with Grand Theft Auto 5. That when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out making money hand over fist, and all the investors started to get dollar signs in their eyes and started to realize that games are not just little kid playthings, that they actually can make more money than movies, a lot more money than movies. And investors started to move in and they started to
I would say
expect that kind of profitability,
I
and over the years have slowly kind of, brought capitalism into video games
I I
industry.
I
That
think
might be its own slow bubble that it needs to burn down, that all these people do need to lose all their money. And then it goes back to small companies making independent games and putting them on platforms because people are not going to stop gaming.
I
It's
think
not going to go away.
well,
that's
some people
Nick's
will
thing.
stop gaming because that's one of the things that was in the
Yeah.
Yes.
slideshow is that
The
some people stop gaming. Not just old people, but young people don't pick
Yes.
it up because they get their interactive entertainment from other sources.
But it's not gonna be there's not gonna be it's gonna be a shrinkage of the market, shrinkage of the player base, shrinkage of the investment base, but, if it all burns down, a lot of people are not gonna be playing video games, but there's always going to be a core of people who are going to be playing games
Yeah,
until the
I
day they
would
die, and that it right sizes this market back
but
down
that's not the right
to where it
size.
should be.
If
I
it
would
all
I
breaks
agree.
down,
I
I
agree.
would I would say no, mostly because when we were looking through the financial data, there was a steady incline over the years. At least it was um there was nothing in it that seemed to defy expectations of
yeah,
an
like
industry that
everything going up to COVID was like, okay, this is just an industry growing. This is people doing good. This is
Right.
cool.
I do think some of that was breaking into stuff like you mentioned GTA, and then you have Fortnite. Like live service stuff did start to pick up in those years, and maybe some of that was part of it. Like that growth was just live service also taking off, so there was a natural growth for games. And maybe that was unsustainable that we're kind of seeing now. I don't think this is course correction. I think this is just fuckery. I think
Yeah,
this is catastrophic economics reaching a breaking point.
I'm with you. I think it's like a financial crisis coupled with a like I said, a war for attention that's lost, coupled with changing demographics and the changing attitudes of young people, coupled with a lot of other things. It's just kind of a perfect storm of factors. This is not a course correction. This is an industry facing like a shrinking population that no longer wants it.
I think it's a failure. Like I would go as far as to say like this is a industry failure, is what we're seeing right now. And maybe there's probably ways to fix this. But if things keep going this way, I don't think it's going to be salvageable. I don't know what that would look like. Obviously, indie games, we've mentioned it plenty of times, and AC Wraith loves, like, indie games are great.
Yeah, and
That'll
indie
always
games
exist.
will always be around.
There will
will
always
always
be
be
games like
Tiny
Mewgenics.
video games. Yeah.
Right, there'll be games like Mewgenics that come out of small groups of people who are going to be making games and can make a significant amount of money on those games. So it's not that it is catastrophic from an industry point of view when we're talking about large scale developers and large scale games. But there's going to be a morning after on this one.
Yeah,
And I don't necessarily, this is kind of maybe it's not entirely a bad thing
Well,
if it all burns down.
but if it does, look, I like an indie games. I liked Home Safety Hotline. I also really like Uncharted and Elden Ring and Baldur's Gate 3. And
But it will grow
those are the
back
games-
again.
Those are the games that will be lost.
Yes.
Actually, I don't think Baldur's Gate 3 would be lost. That's the exception. That is me nitpicking because they didn't get outside investment for that.
That is true. That is true.
That is the one studio that has literally rode on their own dime this entire way through. And
but if the industry collapses, like,
true,
where do you? I don't know. Maybe they don't have money, but like
that
level of games, that level of big budget game, is what's gone
for the moment. It'll come back.
Will it?
I think it would. I think there would always be a company willing to take on large financial risk.
Why?
Maybe not right away, but you'll see it, the same way that I saw it over the last 30 years.
I think because there's always going to be money there. I just think instead of giving the 12 big games a year that we get now, we'd get 2. Or we would get, a bunch of Chinese games, which that's not a negative. Again, Phantom Blade Zero looks fucking sick.
If they keep putting out Souls-like, then
the industry
consider me a red Chinese. Like that. You know what?
Tencent,
my loyal Tencent, come sponsor GameHounds. We're for sale. We are for sale.
No.
If you keep making good, you want to give me a code for Black Myth, whatever the next one is called.
We'll play it on stream.
Yeah, we'll play it on stream. We'll play it. Give me code for Phantom Blade Zero. I will shill for you.
And it may be that those kinds of big games don't come from the U.S. There will always be U.S. developers. It's too much brain trust here for there not to be U.S. developers. But maybe the U.S. moves into being small to middle games, become the AA title country.
I have thought about that.
China used to be, and China becomes the AAA country.
I do think there's something about that, because when I looked at I keep a list of all the games that I play each year. When I looked at my top 10 list for last year, none of those games were developed in the U.S.
The real answer to this is we have no idea. We can speculate, but I mean, we literally have no idea because it is so uncertain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Also, let's not discount for the quality of AAA titles, Scandinavia, Norway, Sweden.
Oh yeah, a lot of the games
in Poland, even though it's not Scandinavia.
A lot of the games that I played, Kingdom Come Deliverance comes from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is a Polish company, Polish developer, and the owner of that developer is in Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
So we might be seeing.
They made a better game than Bethesda did. They made a better Bethesda style game than Bethesda.
Starfield is so disappointing.
It is. It is.
Hey, anyways, no need to get into that. But should we move on?
Yeah, sure. What else do we have? Although we're about 30 minutes from when we have to sign off.
Okay.
Just
I at least have
That's kind of what I was trying to move it on.
I at least have a fun, goofy, interesting story to end on.
Okay.
But do you have something, Andrew? Did you want to talk?
No. I was just saying this is why I was mentioning we should probably move on, just because.
Okay.
We're getting deep into the weeds.
Yeah. Okay. So Perry Chiral is a streamer who does a lot of like brain stuff. She has hooked up like EEG things to her head
I've seen
to
her. She's great.
to like play Elden Ring with her brain. She has now gone the opposite direction where she created a controller to control her. Yeah. Can you hear this?
I hacked my balance.
Can you hear the
Yikes.
sound?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I will play this.
I made a device that can shift your balance by passing a current through your head in different directions, controlled by a
Oh
joy.
God.
This is called galvanic vestibular stimulation.
So you just want me to like run in a straight line? Okay.
Yikes. Oh,
I then connected it to a racing game so I could feel the G-forces.
Let's do it.
that's pretty cool.
This cannot be good for her brain.
No.
Yeah,
Like,
she's playing a racing game as
am I
the
supposed to
car
be
is going
flashing
around the
flashing
corner.
lights?
She's leaning. She's feeling the lean of the car.
This is how you develop
flashing lights
vertigo, like lifelong vertigo.
It'd be easier if she weren't falling over. It would be a little bit. I got a headache. Hold on.
Yeah, got a headache. Hold on.
Is it
There
on
you
here?
go.
Is it
This is not good for her.
Is it supposed to do that?
I feel like this is
Fuzzy.
this would give you
Oh,
the
this is
same
very
motion
fuzzy.
sickness
Don't
of like
do this.
VR.
Don't build this. Don't
Your
make
brain
this.
doesn't
I do not
process what
approve
is
of
actually
anyone
happening.
making this.
Yeah,
terrifying.
yeah. And as she was running, that was a picture of a PlayStation controller that somebody else was holding. She's running forward, and the person hits to the left, and she starts running to the left, and then he goes to the right, and she starts running to the right because it's making her lean as she's playing, as she's running.
Yeah.
If you want to go see the video, just Google gamepad controllers, controls Elden Ring streamer in real life. There's a link in the chat, but if you're on something that doesn't have the chat,
Yeah,
how you-
it was called galvanic vestibular stimulation, and it sends signals to your ear canal, which is what controls the balance.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that cannot be good for your brain. Don't do that. She's
No,
right.
and
Don't do this.
she says that there's dizzying effect. So this technology, from Kotaku, there's a journalist Yuri Kagamaya in 2005 tried this out, and he said, "I found the experience unnerving and exhausting."
Yeah.
So this is not a new VR. This is not something
Mm-mm.
that you want to do, but it's a very cool, I don't know, thing.
It's cool. I don't know. I think it's kind of terrifying, the fact that you could actually do that and make that in a bedroom, somebody in their
Oh, yeah.
bedroom hacking stuff could actually make something like this. It's
So other
Kinda
videos,
terrifying.
like I would say check out her videos. Her name is like Perry Chiral. You can
Ariel, Karyal.
And like I said, she's done interesting things where she plays Elden Ring with her mind. So like her hands are like this on a table, and she's playing an Elden Ring by thinking certain thoughts at certain times that get picked up by a machine that then get translated into game controls.
Better her than me. As someone who has had vertigo, there's a crystal in your ear that can get dislodged, and it can cause horrible vertigo. As someone who has had that happen to her multiple times, there's like a little maneuver that you have to do by lying down, turn your head, put your hand over on one side, and then turn on your side, and then sit up so that you can try and get that crystal back into your ear canal the way it's supposed to. As someone who's had that happen, it's horrible. Don't do it. Don't mess with your ears. Seriously, do not mess with your balance. It's awful. Thank you for the link in AC Wraith for her
yeah.
her website.
That's cool though.
Yeah,
Like,
it
in
is
a
cool
in a
but
science
it's
way.
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah, it's cool.
Cool
It's cool
sciencey,
science
but
shit.
it's terrifying socially and
Look,
and
if the Science Channel was still a thing, this would totally be on it. If Mythbusters was still a thing, this would be like a guest on Mythbusters or something.
Grant
like
Imahara
that.
would absolutely build that shit.
Exactly.
Yep, and he put it on Carrie.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah,
So
that's
wow,
that was my last thing.
action-packed show for us. Good Lord.
I think we had like 2 new like segments essentially for that whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that we kept our reviews short because otherwise we would be deep in it right now. So next week, anybody planning on playing anything next week?
Yes.
That's it. Just
You want to be more specific about that, Nick? Any previews
Uh,
of what you
I'm
might
playing
be
a-
playing?
Playing video games.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Oh wait.
Andrew?
Shit. When
Death
does Resident
Stranding
Evil
and
9
probably
come out?
Warframe. 26th.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
it's 27.
4 days.
Oh, that's Friday. Yes, I will have played Resident Evil by that point.
okay, good
So
to
Nick's
know.
gonna stream Resident Evil Friday, guys. Be
Yeah.
prepared.
Andrew, anything you're going to be playing?
I just want to work. I'm gonna probably work more through Death Stranding and then maybe more Warframe. Always more.
I'm going to be playing QuickBooks.
That sounds like
Lots
an
and
amazing
lots
game.
of QuickBooks. It is not fun, but it's got to be done.
Is there a like world competition of QuickBooks like there is for Excel?
There may very well be. I will not be entering anytime soon.
QuickBooks is taking some of the gaming market share by gamifying QuickBooks next year. So be
Mm,
prepared.
Yep. That
You get more
that
points if you're faster.
oh my god, that feels like a headline from next year. I feel like you ripped a little hole through time and saw the future.
I
Oh
will
my
say
God.
AI is in QuickBooks and it is making my life a nightmare because you can't turn it off. And it's making decisions and entering stuff in that's totally fucking wrong. So I have to go back in and find all the things that it's doing wrong to pull it back out. It's just
Yeah, that describes AI perfectly.
yeah.
It's like I didn't buy this. Yes, you did, Edie. I bought it for you.
You bought it from T-Mobile. You spent $3,000 for T-Mobile last year. It's like, no, I didn't. Well, who put T-Mobile? I'm calling my brother. What did you spend $2,000 on T-Mobile for? And it's like, oh no, that's Contra Costa topsoil.
I get those two confused all the time.
Same. Sometimes I just grab a bit of dirt and put it next to my ear to make a phone call, and it doesn't work.
And I had to do that 3,000 times.
Okay.
All
Good
right.
luck.
So, well, as a reminder, we are, Patreon funded. If you like this content, first off, if you're watching this content, if you watched it all the way through or even watched a part of it, please do us a favor, like and subscribe to what you're watching right now, wherever you're watching it on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. If you want to be a subscriber, we would definitely appreciate it because times are tight in GameHounds land. But if you really want to make a difference, patreon.com/GameHounds. $1 a month is all we ask to help us fund all the platforms that are increasingly loaded with AI and increasingly loaded with upscaled pricing so that we can help afford and offset some of the costs that it takes to do this.
We talked about how hard it is out there for developers. If you want to see Ookie Bookie Spelookie, we need your help.
It's
I
always
am
coming
looking
next
forward.
year.
That's when I know AI will have hit a critical mass, is when I can just tell it to make Ookie Bookie Spelookie and it makes it.
We can't do that. We got to be developer first. Hire the people to make it. Don't worry, it's coming next year. There may be delays.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, there might be delays.
There may be delays. It takes 32 gigabytes of RAM.
We're going to make the most unrealistic game ever.
You need a 5090 to get 30 FPS at 1080p. But
oh yeah,
we're good.
Yeah, hit that like button now. Hit the subscribe if you like our content. You'll get a notification before we go live. So on that note, shall we close this out?
Yeah.
All right,
good.
let's close this out. You've been listening to GameHounds, GameHounds episode 810. We recorded this on September 22nd, 2026. I'm Edie Sellers. With me has been Nick DiNicola and Andrew Smith. Ways to get a hold of us. GameHounds.net is our website. GameHounds@gmail.com is our email. We recorded this show live on Facebook, on YouTube, and at Twitch. We record live on Sundays at noon Pacific, generally, unless Nick's got a 5-year-old birthday party to go to. But
Or
we go at
6,
noon,
7, I don't know.
7-ish,
sleeping.
yeah. 9 noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Please feel free to join us live. We would love to have you there. If you are listening as a podcast, incidentally, we are on a podcast on pretty much every podcast platform you can imagine, but a main way to find us on Apple Podcasts. If you are listening to us as a podcast, there's more. There's a lot of stuff more that you didn't hear because it was done live and we had to edit it out. So if you want to see the whole thing or watch the whole thing, go to Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch and watch back again. And in addition, everything that we talked about is in the links. Thanks to our one and only AC Wraith. He puts links to absolutely everything that we have talked about into the comment section. So if you heard something or you saw something or whatever and you want to find it again, go back to the comments on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, and you will see those comments with those links to see all of the background information of the stuff that we talked about. As always, thank you to our patrons. If you want to be a patron for us, $1 a month, as I said, was all we ask for. Patreon.com/GameHounds. And let's not forget our Discord. Our Discord is our lifeblood. Nick, Andrew, and I are always on that. We're constantly sending stuff out. In fact, I posted a bunch of insane deals this week on gaming peripherals and games in our deals section on our Discord. So if you want to find great deals, if you want to find great conversation, if you want to contact us at any time throughout the week and have us respond pretty much instantly, go to our Discord. Our Discord information is on our screen right now. If you're listening as a podcast, you can find it in our description for our show. So we'd love to have you there. Please join us. That's free. And all it takes is just a couple seconds to sign up.
For now.
All right. Nick, thank you so much for being here. Andrew, again, thank you for being here. And we will talk to you all next week. Everyone in the chat room, thank you again for being here. We'll see you maybe next week. Keep an eye on Discord. That may change. Have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye. Yeah, incidentally, sorry about that. I just remembered. I'm not going to have I'm not going to be here next week. Nick, Andrew, if you want to do a show next week, I would appreciate it if you want to do it. You can go nuts. But unfortunately, I can't be here next week. It's a big week for me with dumpster day in Point Richmond. And I got a lot of stuff to take the dumpster. Also, I'm a volunteer for dumpster day.
Well,
If you're not familiar what a dumpster day is, the local, and you may have one wherever you live, the local waste, resource place will in a neighborhood contact a neighborhood group and say, hey, we will bring out dumpsters. And anybody in the neighborhood who wants to throw stuff out can, like big stuff, can throw stuff out in the dumpsters. So people bring, old couches and just garage clean outs and stuff that wouldn't normally fit into their garbage cans. You can just bring it down that day and it's free to just dump it in the dumpster. So because I'm a vice president of my neighborhood association, I always help with lining people up and getting them in and working around big vehicles and opening it up at 9 o'clock in the morning and shutting it down at noon or whenever the dumpsters are full. And this year I actually have couches and other stuff to throw in there too. So I'm going to be out there on Friday night loading up my truck so I can be there first thing Friday morning to get my stuff dumped and then spend the rest of the day helping. And that usually wipes me out. But that's happening next weekend. So I'm going to be completely dumpstered.
Well, keep an eye out for someone like dumping computer parts. I mean, I've heard stories of people going dumpster diving and like finding RAM and hard drives.
Yeah. Well, I mean, unfortunately, they don't. If that was the case, I would be dumping a lot of stuff there too. But they don't take electronics. And they don't take
Oh, okay.
electronics. They don't take hazmat. But we do. One of the things that is a thing that happens is because we're there, we get to look to see what everything is in the back of people's cars, and like, oh, what are you dumping today? Is there anything there that's reusable? Like, well, I got this, that, and the other. So we pull it out and put it on the side of the road, and people will drive up and see, like, hey, that's a cool lamp. I'll take that lamp.
Yeah.
And so we try to reuse. When we find something that looks like it might be useful, we'll pull it out, put it at the side of the road, and then if nobody takes it, then we dump it at the end of the day. But like, I mean, I'll take you on a little trip.
I say we bring Nick there with a camera to vlog it with you. Well, that'll be the GameHounds podcast, a little
Sure.
garbage day vlog.
Sure,
Yeah,
garbage day vlog. Yeah, and then I'll take you in here. That lamp right there, a cute little lamp. That was a dumpster day find.
Okay.
Yep. And what
So
else?
Edie's story was just her story. Like that wasn't somebody. That was Edie.
Oh no, it's a lot of people. I mean, I as the person at the front of the line who's asking, I get first crack at everything,
Mm,
and
This is
and
why
I
she
haven't put
really
them
does it.
together.
exactly.
But these nightstands, new in box, never been opened. Those were a dumpster day finds. Somebody just
Really?
dropped them off.
Someone's dumping furniture that hasn't even been opened?
Hasn't even been opened.
You probably buy it. You're like, oh, I'll put it together. 6 months later,
Right.
you're like,
Or and they're like, I got
Yeah.
something different, or I didn't like it, or things change or whatever, and it's like it never got put together. So they're like, just dump it. So we
Huh.
put it on the side, and I look at it, and it's like, I'll take that.
Yeah.
So yeah, free stuff. I have a recumbent bike that's brand new. We pulled it out because the neighborhood association wanted to sell it, and it's still sitting in my downstairs apartment, and I'm gonna have to evict it fairly soon. But yeah, brand new recumbent bike that somebody was dumping. It's like
how's your Peloton?
$700 bike, and it's like brand new.
How's
So
your
we-
Peloton bike doing, by the way?
Mine is very good. I actually use it every day, and you do classes all the time.
I just remember like 3 years ago when you got your bike, you're like, oh, this company's going to be huge.
I
got
never
one.
said this company is going to be huge. I just said that I bought one because I was going to prioritize my health, and 100 pounds later, I'm doing okay.
Just give me
I'm
a
using
breakdown.
my bike.
Yeah, by the way, I am actually now officially 100 pounds. I have
Nice.
dropped.
That's good.
That's
That's
awesome.
great.
I've dropped a C note. So I'm pretty okay with that.
Benjamin.
Well, that's what we call the extra weight was Benjamin.
Yeah. Little
But,
Benji.
all right.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here. So if you guys, I'm going to leave it to you two. If you want to do a show, and please put it on the Discord to decide if it's going to be you guys or not, or if you're going to cancel the show, please put it on Discord, and I'll also make an announcement as well. But so
was just
AC
gonna
Ray,
say,
again, thanks.
I'll probably take the week off then as well. If that's all right with you, Nick.
Yeah,
I love
that's
you,
fine.
but that's okay.
I'll just spend the weekend playing Resident Evil.
Yeah.
You could stream Resident Evil for the show.
I could. Oh, I could also go back and stream Resident Evil 4 in VR.
That'd be
Never went
pretty
back to that.
Yeah.
Because I did install that.
So we'll officially call it no show on that would be the 28th on the 1st. No show March 1st.
Yeah.
But you guys are more than welcome to stream anything you like or do whatever you like. I'm just going to be busy.
Yeah.
Dumpster diving. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. We will talk to you all. I will talk to you in 2 weeks. Maybe you'll see Nick and or Andrew in the next week. But have a great couple of weeks, and we'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. I'm waving.